Lately, everybody's talking at me, and maybe I should turn it off. Shelter, I know that I've been waiting for some shelter in my heart. I can't control the words I've been saying, filter me out, my mind is just playing. Heart is running wild, got me talking like a child. Fire in my soul, I know I'm just faded, lifting me up, I know I won't take it. Sparks are running wild, yeah. Got me starting up a riot, I'm bringing that fire. Gonna go wild, so I get higher. Got me starting up a riot, till we backfire. Gonna go wild, always getting higher. Lately, everybody's talking at me, and maybe
What's good, chat?
shelter. I know that I've been waiting for some shelter in my heart.
What's good, everyone? Hopefully, you guys are having a good day as we kind of get back into everything. Here we go. Hopefully, you guys are having a good day. I definitely know that I am. We got the ratings reveal live in just a little bit. Hopefully, it's not too long. You know, I remember I was looking at the one last year. I was live for like 5 hours, so we'll see how long this one is. You know what I'm saying? We'll kind of wait and see. But hold on, this song kind of hit. Into it backfire. Can we go higher? Oh, it's getting higher. That shit just hit. God damn, that shit nice. Yeah, but it should definitely be going. We're live in 13 minutes, chat. So we're about to get into this one. Yeah, so we pretty much we can go over here. Boom, bada bing. How you doing? The MLB actually tweeted it out. The MLB The Show 25 ratings reveal starts at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is about 13 minutes, which is very exciting. And it's actually on the MLB channel on YouTube, which we're going to be watching on. And they actually have their own stream on Twitch as well. Let's see if it's already live. Let me go take a look. Let's see if it's live on Twitch. Because they might end it early. Because last year they did differently because they did the ratings reveal with the Road to the Show stuff. Because, you know, they didn't add anything new to Road to the Show. But this year's just the ratings reveal. So we'll see how long it is. My predictions on this, I mean, if you guys don't know, the ratings reveal only matters for like Road to the Show, franchise, March to October, like all those modes. Like the live rosters, like nothing for Diamond Dynasty will be in here because they have different attributes. Like we saw what Trout was like a 90. We already saw that like Tatis was like an 88. I'm pretty sure. Like a couple of guys like that, we already saw like what they are just from the deep dive yesterday. So if you guys saw that, you know, shout out to y'all. Definitely made a good video on the deep dive yesterday. Should be definitely exciting. Now the Legends cover athlete is being revealed next week. They didn't really talk about Legends anything. So I have no idea. I have no idea, James. I have no idea. Let me know where you're getting that from, because I have no idea on that. You know what I mean? Not sure about that one. But yeah, I don't expect anyone. They're probably, if I had to guess, Ohtani should be the only 99. If I'm guessing, I don't think, you know, there will be too many. They'll probably put Judge at like what 80, 86 maybe, 87, 88, 98, something like that. 98, 96. I don't know, right around there. A couple guys will put high, like Bryce Harper will be up there probably. A lot of the Dodgers players will be up there. The Dodgers will probably be the best team, honestly. But all these ratings are for, you know, franchise, March to October, Road to the Show. All those modes, custom leagues, because you can do live rosters in there. Probably a home run derby, if y'all ever play home run derby, right? So for those kind of modes, nothing DD will be in here. Figured I'd just state that again as we kind of get in everything, because people are going to ask those questions, you know what I mean? So definitely gonna be good. I remember, it was funny, I was watching the one we did last year. I think I was playing like chess on stream because we had to wait, which was kind of funny. What's going on with my hair right now, chat? What is this? What is going on here? I don't know. I just kind of noticed that. But yeah, James, I have no idea about Legends covers because they didn't really talk about that yet, to be honest. So I don't really know about that. But yeah, I think if there's a 99 player, Probably Ohtani. If it's not, Ohtani's like a 98 probably. If I had to take a guess, I feel like it's kind of hard to rate these guys that high in my opinion. But we'll wait and see. You never know. You never know how it's gonna go. Yeah, we got about 10 minutes before we kind of hop into everything. Yeah, if you guys didn't check out the video yesterday that we made on the deep dive, it was a very good video about everything that has to do with Diamond Dynasty, everything like that. Definitely a good one, in my opinion. I like that one a lot. We got some interesting details on, the whole weekend classic, right? Details on the whole, what was it called? Diamond Quest. We got more details on Diamond Quest, which is pretty cool, and how that works. So a lot of interesting things. I think Diamond Dynasty is going to be pretty good this year, especially with how they're doing it. It's going to remind me a lot of like the older games, which I personally love. Because we've had sets and seasons for 2 years, so I feel like 21 probably, which is going to be nice. So I'm definitely excited for that, because 21 was a fun game in my opinion. So I personally am a fan of that one. So definitely going to be exciting. But yeah, we're about to get into this thing just a little bit. We got some time to kill. Yeah, like people are saying in the chat, like Roki Sasaki's going to be up there. All that good stuff. People are saying Barry Bonds. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah, like this guy said, these are offline ratings, so I doubt we'll see multiple 99s. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's going to be one max. I feel like we'll see a lot of like 97, like 98 kind of guys. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like if you look at last year going into this year, I feel like Ohtani's got to be the highest guy. He's got to be, right? The best player by far in the regular season. Judge has got to be up there as well. Trying to think of any other players I could really see up there. Tatis might be up there. Maybe at like 95, 94, I'm thinking. What I mean? I feel like he might be up there. I don't know, there's not too many guys. Maybe like Seager might be like a high 90. I don't really know. I don't think there'll be too many higher up players in my opinion. I'll wait and see. Like, these usually take a while. I mean, like I said, last year we were here for like 5 hours, so might be a long one, you know what I mean? I think if it is pretty long, I might do a short of just the highest ranked guys later in the week or something like that. You know what I mean? Because I'm not going to make a video after the stream today, so no video after this stream. But yeah, guys, we're going to be live tomorrow as well. We'll be live same time for all this stuff about Diamond Dynasty. That's the Diamond Dynasty feature premiere, obviously. And then we're going to have a video on that on Thursday. And then Saturday we'll be talking about the World Baseball Classic again, which will be exciting. The World Baseball Classic has been very good. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Classic has been very good to watch, I'm not going to lie. We got Germany, Brazil for who qualifies tomorrow, which will be exciting. I mean, that's going to be during the stream, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to have to stay locked in with that one. Because the stream goes live at 12. Oh no, that's a night game. Never mind. That's a night game. Totally forgot. That's a night game. Yeah, so that one's on at like 8 o'clock Eastern, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, we should be pretty good on that one. But yeah, World Baseball Classic has been exciting to watch. I know a lot of people don't like watching the qualifiers. They don't really care. It's not their country. But it is cool to see some of the upcoming countries in there. I'm not gonna lie. It was very fun to watch. I did like it a lot. I'm happy that Ichiro was selected as the baseball. Yes, I was extremely happy. I know a lot of people are mad like he's not like unanimous, but like I don't know. In my opinion, it doesn't really matter. I'm glad he got in there. I mean, I really do think if Ichiro grew up in Japan and was signed like we're seeing nowadays, like guys are coming over instantly. Like I think he would have broke Pete Rose's record, which I think he could have done. Honestly, if he was young and played his whole career through that MLB, he would have at least had 20, 25 seasons, because he played a lot in Japan, and I think combined his MLB hits and his MPB hits, he would have beat Pete Rose's record, which is kind of crazy to think about. But yeah, shout out to Pete Rose, probably one of the best hitters of all time, and not many people know his name, which is kind of crazy. But shout out to Pete Rose, man. Let's see if they're live on. I don't know. I might watch this on YouTube. I like YouTube better. I just want to see if they're live on Twitch yet. I feel like they're live. Yes, they are. No, they're not. They're not live over here yet. Okay. I don't know what they're doing. Is it on? Is it on MLB Network? I feel like it kind of is. Wasn't it on MLB Network last year? MLB Network last year? I feel like it was. Unless I'm tripping. I don't know. I feel like it might have been. But we got about like 6 minutes till this thing starts, which is definitely exciting. Be nice to see where, like, I wonder, like, who's the highest player on the White Sox or, like, the Pirates. Well, probably Skeens, but it's always funny to look at those teams because they don't have the highest players with a couple of those guys. You know what I mean? Be interesting to see how many teams don't have, like, a Diamond player. Diamond is obviously 85 and up. I feel like it'd be a decent amount of squads, honestly. You know, I wonder if they make, like, Brett Rooker is going to be a Diamond. I wonder if they have him up there. I don't know, it'd be interesting. Like, for the lot, because I'm trying to think in franchise, right? Because franchise is really where it's going to matter a lot with how your guys are. Yeah, chat, I think I am going to upload another franchise thing this time. Here it is. Oh, they just tweeted it again. What did they say? It's ratings reveal time. Are they live on Twitch? They don't look live to me. I was sad when I heard Pete Rose passed. Yeah, man, I was really surprised by that. I was like, damn. I was very shocked when I heard Pete Rose died. I was like, damn, that's crazy. And to think he never got in the Hall of Fame when he was alive, which is kind of crazy. I think he'll be a Hall of Famer eventually. They're gonna reinstate him. But yeah, it was pretty sad to see that, James. I ain't gonna lie. All right, so they said they're live on Twitch, and they're not live on Twitch. So I don't know what's going on. We're over here on the YouTube stream, on the MLB channel. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I don't know what they're tweeting over here. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I'd rather watch on YouTube, to be honest. Bro, this is facts. This is a W tweet right here. W tweet right here. Hold on, chat. Let's look at this one. Justin Turner saying he's disappointed that the Mariners didn't have a better offseason after they missed the postseason by 1 game. What the hell are they doing? Are they even trying? I've asked this for multiple years, to be honest. You know what I mean? Seattle's cooked, man. Seattle is cooked, if you ask me. Totally agree with Trey Turner right there. Or Justin Turner, sorry. Totally agree with him. I don't know what Seattle's doing. Horrible franchise. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what those cats are doing. No idea what they're doing. They literally didn't make any moves. It was what, Miami? The Cardinals, I think Seattle. Like 2 other teams didn't make moves. Twins were one of them. No, Twins signed Bader. Oh, there's a couple teams that didn't do anything. I don't know what those lost. Teams are lost in the sauce, I'll tell you that. Yeah, they are not live on Twitch. I don't know what they're doing. Got about like 200 people in the YouTube stream. Hey, shout out to them. I want to read the description because we're bored. Let's see what we have. We're going to deep dive into the best players of 2020 official 25. Today's ratings reveal. Biggest, yes. Nice. Nothing really crazy. Yeah, I finally did pro to the game, chat. I actually did pro to the game. So we're all set on the 14th. We should be good. I should check just to make sure I don't have to like install anything when the game launches, you know what I mean? I think last year I did. I think I've literally watched the live content thing. And then I literally installed the game and then we played on midnight. So I gotta make sure that that doesn't happen. Because you installed like a 300... there's like some like small update to the game you had to install. But yeah, we'll see if that happens. Got 2 minutes till the stream goes live, baby. 2 minutes, chat. 2 minutes. Why don't we switch on over? Go boom. Switch on over, chat. As you kind of wait. Yeah, so we got this pulled up, and then we got the Twitch pulled up. There's nothing live on the Twitch, so I don't really know. I don't know really what's going on over here. But yeah. I don't know what they're doing over here, but that's why we like YouTube better. Are you gonna be streaming? Oh, of course, James. We're gonna be live. We'll be midnight launch. We'll be live, and then probably throughout that weekend. I know on the Saturday. Probably we'll do. I'm trying to structure like this. So the game comes out midnight on Friday, right? Probably stream the whole, midnight launch. Then we'll probably stream at a normal time on Friday for, people that actually have, lives and stuff, right? Stream at a normal time. And then I'll probably stream on Saturday. And then Sunday I probably won't because I gotta fly. I gotta fly back. So, yeah, probably not on Sunday if I had to guess. I don't know, though. Never know. I might just spawn one in, you never know. Probably not on Sunday, though. Yeah, probably... Yeah, because we only got like 9 days, guys. I mean, this game is coming out soon. I can't wait. Yeah, we'll probably go live twice on Friday, technically. I'll probably start the stream Thursday into Friday, and then Saturday. That's obviously all next week I'm talking about when the game launches in like 9 days. So, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited for it, you know? This game is definitely sounding like one of the better ones we've seen in multiple years. It doesn't seem like a roster update. Kind of like last year was, I ain't gonna lie. Last year was definitely a similar game to 23, I'll tell you that. Pretty similar game. But hopefully, I'll say this one is definitely different. Definitely a lot of new things added. A lot more to get excited about, you know what I mean? So, definitely excited for this game. Now, we'll see if they actually go live. We got like 9 seconds, because they're lost over here on Twitch. Let's get a little refresh. Lost over here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? I don't know what they're doing on Twitch. My Twitch is lagging. There you go. Alright. Well, we'll do a little refresh, maybe? I know. Relationships are never meant to last. Alright, we'll kind of just wait for everything to go live, chat. But I'll be alright. I'm moving on. Hey. Heard mad. Why is there just a siren going off right now? Yo, shit. What the hell is happening? Yeah, we normally hear that siren when there's like an emergency going on, so I don't know what's going on outside. I don't know. What is happening? I don't know. Oh, we're live. Here we go. Oh my god, that's on. I don't know. I don't know what's going on outside. Hopefully we're. That is loud. God damn. We're live, chat. Hey! Oh, let's turn the music off. My fault. Turn the music off. Moving on. Got music? Yeah, we got something over here. Let's go, Bat. Hopefully this stream isn't 6 hours long, because that's you know, sometimes they be taking a while on these. I ain't gonna lie. Hopefully it's not that long. You know what I mean? Yeah, last year's was. So last year's I was live for 5 hours because they did the ratings reveal plus Road to the Show, and then in 23 they did just the ratings reveal, and I think it was like 3 hours long. So I'm not sure how long it's gonna be. We'll kind of wait and see, to be honest. But who really knows? On chat, let me do this real quick. Have this pulled up. Are they live on Twitch? I'm really curious to see if they're live on Twitch. They are still not live on Twitch. I don't know what they're doing. Alright, well, that's why we're on the YouTube stream. We got like 1,000 people watching. You know what I'm saying? Got 1,000. Hold on, chat. Let me just. Give me 1 sec. Sorry, guys. Say hello 2 times. Hello 2 times, just in case. Oh, we're really far behind. Goddamn. No, the sped up music kind of going crazy. Hey, 2 times. Caught up now. There we go. That will be the show. Oh, they just retweeted their tweet. Oh, I thought they should go live. Bum 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 bum. Oh, I thought the music stopped. I've been playing over the show since it came out on. Damn. Okay, so you've been playing for what, 2 years? Came out what, 22? So you've been played what, 22, 23, 24? Have that right, James? Alright, I think so. I think it came out on 22 with the Switch, right? And the Xbox. Yeah, it was 22 that came out on Xbox, right? Yes, it was. Yeah, so you've been playing for like 3 years? Yeah, I'd say if you've been playing since 22. I like 22 a lot. I think 22 was good. I think the last 2 have been, okay. They haven't been horrible, but they haven't been my favorites, you know what I mean? So, I think this game is going to be really good. I really do. Because I really like 21. 21 was the last one I really liked. Like, by far. 22 was okay. 23 was... I like 23. Bro, what is this siren? What the hell am I hearing? That sounds like an ambulance. What is going on outside? So confused. I'm excited for when it comes out. Oh, 100%, bro. We're all gonna be playing it. We're all gonna be grinding, bro. Hell yeah. Brothers, you got it on early access on the 14th, or you playing on the 18th? I mean, it's gonna be fun, bro. I really do think that this game is gonna be better than the last. Easily, this game will be better, but this game will be better than 24. I think 23 and 22. 21, I don't know. I really like 21 in my opinion. I really like the Diamond Dynasty. But this, for Road to the Show at least, this is going to be the best one since 17 in my opinion. Franchise will be good. I like franchise a lot. I think what they've done is going to be interesting. I think we have to play through it first to see how it actually works. But I really do think that this is going to be the best MLB The Show we've had in a little bit, to be honest. All right, how long is it going to take, huh? Coming up, how long is it going to take? Let's peruse the interwebs while we wait. Oh. Oh, no. Why did I refreshed on Twitch and it just, like, didn't do anything. I don't know what is going on the Twitch page. Yo, are these cats lost? Are these cats lost over here? I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why I'm so behind. Every time it refreshes, I get like mad far behind. I don't know why. Yeah, I wonder if they start with the American League East and then kind of go through everything, or they start with the alphabetical order teams. I'm gonna wait and see. Guys in the chat, 2 p.m. EST doesn't even start at 2. Facts. I don't know what they're doing. Who knows? It'd be nice when we get the update last time. We're like, oh, it's delayed. You know what I'm saying? And 1 year away from the World Baseball Classic. Wow, that is far. Countdown for the 2026 World Baseball Classic continues. Wow, I can't wait for it. Oh my god. World Baseball Classic is fire. Are these cats live? People are just in the chat, like, oh, the stream is coming from MLB? Oh shit, okay. Oh, so MLB has full control of this. Okay, interesting. Hold the line, gentlemen. Yeah, we just got a coming soon special on YouTube, so we gotta wait. Trying to figure it out on Twitch, and then they'll probably start everything, if I had to guess. I mean, nice if we knew this, you know, we can get it on time, but, you know, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Can't have everything perfect, you know what I mean? It's okay. We got like 2,000 over here on YouTube. You got a decent amount of people on Twitch already. Sounds good, chat. Sounds good. I feel like at this point I should just know everything's gonna get delayed because everything has literally been delayed every time. Found out that Flash Gordon is gonna be opening a baseball museum in the town next to my. Oh shit, that's kind of cool, bro. Is it like a big museum or like a small one, or like how is that? Is there like a theme for the museum, like a certain team or something, or like what is like what's the idea with that? I mean, because you got like the Hall of Fame in New York, you got the Negro Leagues Hall of Fame in Kansas City. Is it like a certain team or like all history? Like what is he doing? You'd be curious to know. You know what I mean? Curious to see what he's doing. Oh, they got it up on Twitch now too. Hey, there we go. They got it up on Twitch. Let's go. Yeah, they got like almost 1,000 people over here. 3,500 watching. Oh, you starting, chat? Oh, we're live. We're live, chat. Lock in, lock in. Boom.
The wait is almost over.
Upload.
MLB The Show 25 is nearly ready for launch. Alongside MLB content creator Kate Maniscalco, I'm Robert Flores from here.
No
at
idea who
MLB
she
Network.
is, to be honest with you guys.
We're so glad you're with us wherever you're joining us from, whether it's on Twitch, whether it's on YouTube, MLB.tv, or MLB.com. Kate, we're glad you're here with us. What are you most looking forward to today during the course of this stream?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. We're going over all of the teams.
I think
all
I've
the
seen
top
her, actually.
players.
Never
I
mind.
think I'm really excited about some of those younger guys that you've seen on the cover, Ellie, Gunnar, Paul Skeens. I'm excited to get those ratings reveals. So.
Yeah, we've got the first ever tri-cover for MLB The Show 25. Remember, early access March 14th, then they got the general access in March 18th. We're glad you're with us, and shout out to all you bunt cheesers and rage quitters, all you people I've beaten during the course of the season. We're glad you're here with us. We love this community, and we can't wait to get started. We're
I don't know all the
also joined
details,
by
but I'm
Rory
hoping to go to the museum when it
McCann.
opens.
He is
Okay,
the,
cool.
Senior live
That should be pretty cool.
at MLB The Show 25.
Hey.
So, Rory,
We haven't seen him
you're
on a
gonna
stream in a
help us
minute.
with ratings. You're going to be here during the course of this stream. Just in general, give us a sense of how you and your team and the people there at Sony San Diego come up with these ratings.
Yeah, well, I'm super excited to be here with you, talking about the ratings, the roster. It's one of my favorite
we haven't
parts
seen him
of
in
the
a minute.
job. The way that we come up with all of our ratings, really, we're looking at a lot of stats, we're looking at a lot of analytics, a lot of data, and put it all together. It gets all the attributes you have on a player. Any attribute you look at, you can go to a stat, something, some metric, and it really does give you a one-to-one, and that's our goal, always putting the one-to-one our game to real life.
All right, so we'll continue to check in with you during the course of a stream. If we have questions, Kate, about maybe a player is ranked a little too low, and I'm sure the chat, as always, very vocal, they're offering very nuanced, insightful comments. If you've got a question or comment for Rory, we'll bring him back on. There are, for the course of this stream, the three most favorite words in the English language are in effect. Drops are on.
Drops.
So make sure that your account is connected. Make sure your Twitch account is connected, because remember, those bronze and commons aren't going to open themselves. So the drops are on.
That's why I got the stream on Twitch
the ratings,
too, chat.
Kate, we should mention these are offline ratings. I play a lot of Diamond Dynasty. Other players in the chat do. Diamond Dynasty's awesome. But these are offline ratings. But don't you worry. We're going to dive into Diamond Dynasty and what's coming, not only for that mode, but plenty of other modes in MLB The Show 25. So you ready to get started?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Let's do it started. We're getting started.
We're
going to start with the team that has a lineup in a galaxy full of stars. And as you might expect, there's more than a couple of diamonds. Check it out.
Starting with the Dodgers? Already?
Is this cool? Yeah. Decoy?
So chilled about everything.
It's nothing. Like a 99, right? Just 99. It's cool. Yeah.
First time ever. Blake Snell. Ooh. You are a Diamond Club member.
And they finally did it.
Dude, he's been complaining about it for years.
Hey, thank you. I'm going to be the show.
That's pretty cool, huh?
Ready?
You like my card? Thank you. I'm gonna be the show.
Congratulations, fellas.
There we go.
It's cool to see, first of all,
90.
Blake
Oh, let me move the
Snell is
chat
an
for you
avid
guys.
gamer. He's constantly streaming this game on his Twitch page, but he was legitimately miffed
There you go.
about
The
his
chat for you guys.
last year, but I think he feels pretty good about where he's at.
There you go.
See Tyler Glasnow, and then we saw
Otani's 99, Mookie Betts 95, Snell 92, Tyler Glasnow 90, Freddie Freeman 90. There you go.
About that. But how about Mookie Betts checking in?
Yeah, Mookie Betts 95. I think it's a little bit low for Mookie. I'm really impressed with his versatility that we've seen over the years. Outfielder, shortstop, it doesn't matter. He has been such a threat to
He's actually godlike.
offense,
Pisses me off.
threat to any single pitcher that's facing him in the league.
Collection's
So
going to be
I'm
too
really
much
excited
money
for
in
Mookie
Diamond
Betts this
Dynasty.
season. He mentioned last year he's got 3 World Series. He said he wants to get to Jeets with 5, so I think he's going to be very powerful this year.
Now, when we were looking at the ratings,
Loki
because
could
we
get
got
to
the
5.
ratings beforehand, you said Mookie might be a little too low.
Yeah.
So let's bring back in Rory for
Rory.
a little bit more. Give us
Hey,
a
he hasn't been in the
sense
streams. I don't know what's going on.
So obviously Shohei's a 99. How close do you think Mookie was to getting into that upper 90 territory?
Yeah, that's a great question. Mookie, he even at 95, he is still one of the top 10 players by overall and also in the game. Especially when we're looking at fielding on Mookie, it gets a little tough with players like him where they can play a bunch of different positions. You know, you see him in shortstop, second base, right field, center. He can do it all. The way that we have him ranked for 80 fielding, he's shortstop primary position to launch. And when we look at the metrics, he was -4 outs above average at shortstop last year. So we're taking that into account. But we also know he can play second. He can play right field. So just trying to get a number that kind of lines up with what his abilities are. But he is very close to being, you know, at that upper 90s, even 99 level, like 95, 99. That window, it's not that large, really.
All right, Roy, appreciate it. We'll stand by. We'll be coming back to you throughout the course
Ciao,
of
Rory.
the stream. Once again, Blake Snell, by the way, a 2020 Players League champion.
Facts.
If you're not familiar with the Players League, during the pandemic,
Players League was fire.
We had a tournament, an MLB The Show tournament, of which Blake Snell ended up winning. I think he beat, I don't even remember who he beat. I know someone in the chat will remember. But
I don't remember
Blake
who he
Snell
beat.
coming over, signing that free agent contract. I mean, he's part of a rotation. It's an embarrassment of riches there in that rotation.
100%. They could flip a coin and say who wants to be the ace for that day. I'm really excited about Blake Snell. We saw how dominant he was the second half of that season with the Giants. Now he's getting that full spring training this year.
Dude, yeah,
he
was
has a
godlike
long-term
with the
deal with the
Giants.
Dodgers. He's going to slide right in and get back to that Cy Young caliber self.
Yeah, it was godlike.
Yeah, it's almost like they have 2 separate rotations.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that second rotation could be a first rotation for nearly every other team. By the way,
100%.
Blake Snell in that 2020 Players League Championship, which I think you can still find on YouTube, he swept Lucas Giolito. So Blake Snell is a very, very good MLB The Show player. All right, speaking of Blake Snell, let's talk about one of his former teams. As we're going to stay in the
Giants.
National League
So we're
West.
staying in the
San Diego
West. All right.
Padres. Remember, I'm seeing a lot of questions from you
Padres.
in the chat.
Yep.
Tatis 93, Merrill
Online
87,
ratings. No.
Machado
As I mentioned at the
86,
top,
King 86, Cease
Offline
85.
ratings only. So keep that in mind.
I think that's
We've got
Tatis is up
Fernando
there.
Tatis Jr. at the top at a 93. Manny Machado is at 86, along with Michael King and Dylan Cease.
Like King is
at
undervalued, bro.
85.
That guy's actually
Jackson
insane.
Merrill is obviously a very intriguing player. He's one that maybe you can make the case he should be ranked a little bit higher.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. He's
only got 1 year, though.
runner-up
That's why it's hard to
MLB
rank
Rookie of the
him.
Year voting last year. If Paul Skeens didn't do the unthinkable, the award was his. But Nando is someone that I'm really excited for this year. He is, you know, they're projecting him at 38 home runs, 108 RBIs. Obviously, his numbers speak for himself. The arm, 99 on the arm.
That's what you want.
I mean,
Yeah.
the power. It doesn't matter
Guy's
if he's in the
actually pretty
outfield. Doesn't
good.
matter if he's playing shortstop. Wherever Fernando Tatis Jr. is on the field, he's going to play animated, he's going to play loose, and he's going to play excited. So it doesn't surprise me that he's at the top of that leaderboard for the Padres.
And also think about last year's postseason.
Yeah.
Fernando Tatis
He's really
and the
good.
Padres had the Dodgers on the ropes.
Yes, they did.
In that division series.
100%.
And Tatis, he had a very productive series, so I cannot wait to see what he does. But Manny Machado, his teammate, is manning that hot corner, and it's no surprise of where his rating is. Look, I think
It is
Manny
true.
dealt with a
They're
lot
up
of
2-1.
injuries last year, so I know he's
crazy.
looking for a bounce back. And he would like these numbers to grow this time next year. The power versus righty and the power versus left, pretty much the same. In the
I want to say like he's a
but
little
Manny
bit too
Machado,
low, but I don't know all the
that's a
ratings. You know what I
feeling
mean? Like I don't know how every player's
Oh,
ranked
yeah.
because
I
they
mean,
just give us the top 5.
Defensively, he's not going to be
So,
what he used to, but offensively,
hard to-
he's always going to be
hard to
a
really know.
consistent 797 OPS ranked last year. He's 100 hits away from 2,000. He's a veteran on that Padres
100
team.
hits,
They're
damn.
all going to him for support. We saw it in the NLDS last year, so I'm excited for those power numbers to get up next season.
Yeah, we saw some people in the chat saying Michael King a little bit disrespectful.
Yeah.
I feel like what was he, 85 somewhere around
He was
there?
godlike, bro.
Last year as a
This guy's
starter,
actually
I think,
insane.
look, that's a pretty good number there. So, look, the Los Angeles Dodgers are the heavy favorite, not only in that division but across baseball. But you can bet that the San Diego Padres might have something to say about it. And so, too, the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, we're just starting in the West, I
Let's
guess.
take a look now at the
Okay,
Arizona
Cattell.
Diamondbacks. The
Okay,
ratings, according to
Cattell.
MLB The Show.
How you doing?
Everyone loves a good Cattell.
Someone finally getting respected.
96 on the ratings.
Cattell.
Eugenio Suarez
And
is
he was
at
in the
86,
Loki
followed by
was
Corbin Burns,
godlike
who
in
signed
MVP
free
voting.
agency. Corbin Carroll, the
So,
dynamic leadoff man, is at
yeah, it's just
85.
Zach Gallen you guys
Zach
can't see at
Gallen
84.
checks in at 84. We're pleased to be joined by former Diamondback Justin Upton, who joins
Cattell,
us.
baby.
Jimmy, up as we sit here on the 20th anniversary of MLB The Show. I know when you were in your playing days, you mentioned that you like to play MLB The Show a little bit.
Yeah, I get in there a little bit, get on my system and play.
Shout out Justin Upton.
Honestly, I didn't play it enough. I never got good at it, but when I got the itch in the off season, I turn it on and play a little bit and get a little baseball in.
There you go. Let's talk about the Diamondbacks as a whole, that top 5 list. At the top, it's Ketel Marte, and you got Corbin Carroll, and then you got a couple of pitchers in the mix, and Zach Gallen and Corbin Burns. Just your reaction to this Arizona Diamondback squad.
You know, there's some really good players on that list. When you look at Ketel Marte and what he's done, he's a dynamic player.
Hell is goated, bro. That guy's so elite.
That lineup.
Always gets disrespected.
Carroll,
Crazy.
Coming up with his skill set, being able to cause some chaos on the baseball field, and then you have.
Hey, bro, Diamondbacks are back on top this year.
Corbin Burns both can really anchor a
really missed on that
staff. So,
on that
some
playoffs.
Really good names on that list.
You mentioned Ketel Marte. He's the highest ranked player according to the ratings. Should he be considered a superstar in Major League Baseball, in your estimation?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, when you talk about superstars, they're guys who change the game night in and night out.
Yeah.
And he's done that. He's done that year after year. So definitely a special player. Can do so many different things on the field.
It's godlike.
And he's one of the guys I love to watch. So if you talk about superstars, I think he's in the conversation.
What are your expectations for Corbin Burns after he signs that big contract to go to Arizona?
I think, like I said before, I think you already had Gallen and Merrill Kelly that
Burns will be good.
Pitched really well for this team last year, and then you bring in a guy like Corbin Burns, who's we talk about in the ace conversation. So I think he can come in and be an anchor for the rotation. The guy who stops the bleeding, when team's in bad stretches, and every team needs that guy.
Low, but
I'm looking
it's
forward
not for the
to
offline ratings. I keep thinking he could go up to 125. That's the problem.
A couple years ago, Corbin Carroll was in the middle of everything. 2024, it was a little bumpy. What are your expectations for Corbin Carroll going into 2025?
Well, I'm expecting a bounce back, honestly. That was his first time playing that deep into the postseason. Shortening the offseason is a lot.
Yeah, he didn't have the best, the best season last year, but I think he'll bounce back.
The guy in the middle of
He's gonna bounce back.
Or at the beginning, at the top of a lineup. You have a target on your back, and it's something that you have to get used to. And I think another year under his belt and being able to deal with the pressure of being that guy, I think he'll settle into that role this year, and he'll be a lot better than 2024.
There's a new first baseman. Christian Walker left via free agency. He goes to the Astros. Josh Naylor comes over from Cleveland via trade. What are your expectations for Naylor in Arizona?
I'm excited to see him play in Arizona.
I think he's a stability piece for him. He can sit in the middle of the lineup and
I like that trade for
be
Diamondbacks.
protection for those guys at the top. He's not a guy that you want to see with those guys on the bases causing havoc. So I think he's going to be a big stability piece for him in the middle of the lineup. He can give you a good at bat, and I'm looking forward to see what he does.
Hey, Justin, we appreciate the time, man. Thanks for the insight. Talk to you soon.
All right, no problem. See you.
Justin Upton,
By the way, the team that scored the most
Giants.
in Major League Baseball last year, the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks.
Let's talk about the San Francisco
No,
Giants.
90's tough.
Logan Webb flirting with that 90. He's at 89. The always
Ramos is at 82
Matt Chapman
when you can't
is
see.
At 86. Willie Adames recently acquired, signed in the offseason, Ryan Walker and Elliot Ramos. Let's talk about Willie Adames. What are your expectations for him in a Giants
underrated
season?
Oh, I'm so excited. Obviously, he's coming off arguably one of his best seasons of his career with the Milwaukee Brewers. He has been everything that team wanted him to be. Now he transitions over to the Giants. He gets to play
Like
on
he's
the
a
left
little
side
low,
of that infield
but it's okay.
with Matt Chapman, which could arguably be one of the best left sides in all of baseball, at least defensively. So I'm really excited for him this year. I was extremely impressed with his power last season, so he's going to be a great addition to that Giants lineup.
You mentioned the power. The last time the San Francisco Giants had a player with at least 30 home runs in a season, Barry Bonds. So clearly, power is something that this team has needed. What about Logan Webb? He's the highest-rated San Francisco Giant. He's an innings eater.
Yeah, that guy's got like too. I ain't gonna lie.
Pitchers across Major League Baseball.
Yeah, Logan Webb, give him the 90. Why does he not have a 90? He's a workhorse. What I love most about Logan Webb is you know exactly what you're getting from him every single season. Like we said, he's a workhorse. He's consistent. He has a high ground ball rate. He pounds the strike zone.
With the NL
That's most
this time
impressive about Logan Webb.
AL.
Look at stamina, of course, 94. He's extremely effective. I was shocked last year it was his first All-Star nod. I thought I could have sworn he had an All-Star prior to that, but he's just been such a dominant player for the Giants. Always the ace, always at the top of that rotation. And like we said, he's going to eat up a ton of innings. Want the 90.
Well, Buster Posey is now running the show there. No pun intended there
in
San Francisco. We had a couple people jumping in late to the stream. Couple of things. One, drops are on, and the packs for MLB The Show 25. Okay, some of you are asking, is it for 24? I mean, we've only got like four days left. Why are you wanting packs for MLB The Show 24? She's Kate Maniscalco. I'm Robert Flores. You can find her on Instagram at Ask Kate. That's Kate with an I. You can find my streams. If you're looking for someone that hits into a astonishing amount of double plays, I'm your guy. Go to twitch.tv/RealRoFlo. Let's check back in with Rory, our ratings guru. And Kate brought up Logan Webb. He's just outside the 90s. Give us a sense of how close he came to eclipsing the 90 in the ratings.
Yeah, absolutely. Logan Webb, you said it. Innings eater. Last couple of years, he leads MLB in innings pitched by like 20 innings. It's insane. Where the rating doesn't quite line up overall wise, he does give up quite a few hits, which dampers his hit per nine. Doesn't have many strikeouts. He's more of ground ball machine, gets outs.
Yep.
So the 90 overall, it gets reached in an attribute that's not on there. Just has that dog in him, and he's definitely a 99 rating in there.
Rory, that's good stuff. That is scientific, and make no mistake, your has that dog in your quality. You're also up there too. So we appreciate it. Stand by. We'll check back with you a little bit later. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, so where are we going to now, guys? All right, let's talk gameplay. Here's what you can expect. One of the things.
Should I skip over the Rockies, I guess? All right. Oh, we gotta watch this again? Oh my god, it's gonna be 10 hours, guys. Oh. Alright, well, yeah, I'm not watching this again, to be honest with you. I'll be honest, I get pretty accurate. Like, maybe a couple guys deserve a little bit higher. I think King and Adames probably a little, like, one more up. But, like, honestly, it's pretty accurate. Like, I don't see how they're falling off
difficulty sounds
too hard.
Absolutely terrifying. I want no part of that. Let's bring in Chris Gill. He's the gameplay director for MLB.
Yeah, 2 times real quick.
Chris, thanks to have you. Thanks for joining us here. Let's talk about ambush hitting. You and I
How far are we
talked
behind?
about this earlier.
Not too bad.
In the off season. I know you're excited about it. What should our players know about this new feature?
Yeah, super excited about ambush hitting. For me, what I love most about it, it's an extension of our zone hitting, which is our most popular hitting mechanic. What's really cool to me is, and a lot of the
over this
stuff
3 weeks ago.
Talk about is translating real life stuff to our game. And so ambush hitting is just one of those ideas that really stems from having a plan.
I get it, because there's a lot of casual people watching, so you gotta explain everything again. I get it. I get it.
Freeman's home run that he hit in the World Series. And
Get
he
it.
talked about it. If you look up his interview, he'll discuss basically what ambush hitting is all about. He talked about hunting a certain pitch. He talked about the scouting report that actually used Ohtani's scouting report. He used a report because it was left. He didn't have any other information to use. So he's seen how he pitched Ohtani.
Interesting.
And what he saw was he was throwing a lot of cutters away.
All right, we're 4 teams in,
So
30
he wanted
minutes.
to lay off that pitch, and he was looking for.
Seems like we're gonna be
a
here a
pitch in
while.
the inner half
What
of
can I
the
say?
plate. What's really cool about ambush hitting is it's exactly what that is. You go up to the plate with
Ambush
a plan. You
hitting.
get to choose one half of the plate. The
I like
inner
ambush
half
hitting will
or
be
the
cool.
outer half.
That's another feature you're gonna have to
Opt
test
in at
yourself.
any
Like, you know what I
time.
mean?
You
Like,
don't
you're gonna have to
ever
just see
use
how it
it.
is.
It's always an option
You know?
for you while you're batting.
to see
and
how it
zone
is.
hitting. And essentially what it is, it's a small cheat that you get in real life. Like Freddie talked about in his interview is like, I'm hunting a fastball in, middle in, and he got that pitch. And so for him, it was just being on time at that point, right? Getting that bat head out on the ball and making sure that he saw it real well. But he threw him exactly what he was looking for. And so how that translated into our game is the same thing. You know, you'll run into guys that have power sinkers that are exploiting that.
More gameplay.
Especially in our head-to-head games on the inner half of the
Manny.
plate. And so this is a way for you to kind of like in a real life way cheat a little bit. And what I mean by that is if I'm looking for a fastball in, and these guys are throwing, you know this, Robert, guys are throwing mid-90s, right?
Yeah.
Like you can't just go up there looking for a fastball in and hit that same pitch away, right? And you can't look away and hit that same pitch
Thanks.
in. You just can't do it. You're just going to have to let it go if you don't have it on the right side of the plate. So you guess inside, he throws you a fastball inside, and essentially what that is kind of like a little cheat where you open up your hits a little bit more. You're going to increase your timing slightly, and you're going to increase your bat size, basically the PCI size, by 2 difficulties lower.
Wow.
So essentially, it's just a way for you to kind of have a plan when you come to the plate. I like to use it when I'm ahead in the count, typical
sure.
of like real life hitters, right?
Hey, Chris, real quick, home run robbing. There's a new way to do it. Tell us quickly about it.
Yeah, home run robbing, new mechanics. So essentially last year and the years before,
It's
the
gonna be
meter
a
would get
lot
to the
better, I'm
top,
not gonna
and it
lie.
would show you when the ball was landing over the fence. So essentially you had to time that perfectly. Now what we're doing is we're putting the green region in the middle and of the meter. And so essentially what that allows you to do is choose from tens of 20s of animations that we have coming from all different angles. You can navigate kind of those really weird cutouts, especially like in crass stadiums or in certain big league stadiums that have really odd cutouts. But we have all different angles, all different timings. So essentially, Robert, I know you love robbing home runs. So my tip to you is just try to get to that warning track at any time. If that meter's within that grid, you can hit jump, and we're going to choose an animation for you. Here's the clue, though. I'll give you a tip, and everybody that's listening, you better have good outfielders out there because we scale those attributes. So if I got a 99 out there, he's going to catch that every single time as long as you time it well.
I love it. There's nothing better than to make an opponent rage quit after you've robbed them of a home run. Appreciate it. Chris Gill, he's the gameplay director for MLB The Show. Chris, congratulations on all the hard work.
Thank you.
And can't wait to play the game.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Robert.
You got it.
Word.
Hey, and speaking of rage quitters,
Rockies.
I know we got a couple in the chat. When I'm playing you and go deep against you, at least let the ball land so it counts.
Facts.
Okay?
Come on.
With that being said, let's talk about the
Doyle's the highest,
Brent
and Tovar,
is the
McMahon.
highest rated Rocky at 84.
Damn.
Oh, Doyle rules. Ezekiel
Yeah,
Tovar
Doyle's
is
probably
at
their best
83.
player. I don't know. I like Tovar as well.
McMahon is at 78.
Those two are pretty good.
Switch hitting first baseman Michael Talia is at
But yeah, I
75,
mean,
and
this
Herman
team,
Marquez
guys.
is at 70.
Holy.
Look, Colorado Rockies, Kate. I mean, it's no
Trash.
secret they're in a bit of a transition right now.
Yes.
They're cooked.
But there is reason for hope,
Just tell
and
them they're
Ezekiel
cooked.
Tovar is definitely one of those reasons.
100%. He's such a dynamic player. I think he has the poise
Just
to
say
be
they're
one of the best
cooked.
shortstops in the game right now. It took up some armor last year, had a gold glove. I think Rocky fans should be really excited him. 98 fielding, 157 games. He had 26 home runs, 97 WRC+. So he's going to be a very exciting young talent for that Rockies team.
Yeah, you see a couple of other. I've always liked Ryan McMahon.
Yeah, he's been a good player.
They play in a ballpark that's you're going to hit a bunch of homers and a bunch of tanks. But look, they're a franchise that right now is currently
Cooked.
in a bit of a transition period. But I just think that this
Why
division.
can't I call it transition
Look,
period?
the
Like, it's a
Dodgers,
rebuild.
It's going to be.
Like,
they are the heavy favorite. No
they're a
one's going to be
rebuild.
picking against the Dodgers, but between the Diamondbacks and the Padres, I think they could make things a little bit difficult for the Dodgers. What about you? What do you think?
100%. I think the Diamondbacks rotation could go toe-to-toe with the Dodgers. Burns and Gallen as a 1-2 punch is among the best in all of Major League Baseball. But even that Padres team, like, I know they didn't do much this offseason, but they're returning pretty much everyone from that lineup with the exception of Profar and Hassan Kim, who was out. But I'm really excited about those three of them, and even the Giants. It's going to be a really tough division.
Well, you know, the music in the clubhouse just got a lot better there in San Diego because they reportedly agreed to a deal with Jose Iglesias. So he takes his OMG from New York to the San Diego Padres. And speaking of New York, let's go from the National League West to the National League East. And let's get it started
99
with the New York Mets. At the top,
there he goes.
Juan Soto.
They did put him 99.
Shout out to you
Interesting.
Yankee fans there. I know you're still bitter, but
they have
it's okay.
Senga at 83, by the way.
Soto is at
Interesting.
99. Then you've
From
got
99,
Francisco
95,
Lindor,
85.
the switch hitting shortstop. He
Seems
checks
like
in
a
with
big
95
drop, if
rating.
you ask me.
Then a trio of players in the 80s. Pete Alonso, who re-signed in the offseason. He's at 85. Mark Vientos, the fresh maker, is at 83. And so, too, is Kodai Senga at 83. Where do you want to start?
Senga didn't really play a lot, but
of course, we should start at the top. 99. Nobody is surprised, right? He's coming off the best season of his career. Will it be because he hit in front of Aaron Judge? I don't know. I guess we'll see how he transitions to the Mets. But if there's anyone more disciplined at the plate, lives for the spotlight, is going to thrive in New York again. He's just moving over to that other borough. He joins Lindor. He joins Pete. He joins Nimmo. He is, again, the generational, as we say. He's going to be so much fun to watch in Queens.
We had a discussion on MLB Network about the Mets lineup. And Harold Reynolds, who was sitting in that chair, said that he would put Brandon Nimmo at the top, then Soto, and then he would have Francisco Lindor somewhere in the 3-hole. My pushback was Lindor excelled so much at the top of the order. His OPS, I believe, was over.
Nimmo's a good player. I like him.
Moved up to the top of the lineup. For me, he gets things going. He's the engine for the New York Mets.
Yes, he's always going to have 30-plus home runs.
Bad, guys.
I mean, 5 of his seasons he had 30.
Lindor improved a lot last year. I ain't gonna lie.
In the 30-30, so he could steal. He's an excellent leadoff hitter. Obviously, we saw him
improved
defensively.
A lot.
I mean, Francisco Lindor, if Shohei Ohtani wasn't doing the unthinkable last year and having a historic season, the NL MVP was going to Lindor.
Yeah, he could have won it.
Great year defensively, great year offensively. So, I wonder if they're going to move Lindor around.
Well,
who's going to hit at the top?
Carlos Mendoza said at the top that Lindor would be 1 and Soto would be 2. Although St. Ryman in the chat says no way Lindor needs to lead off. So, Carlos Mendoza, St. Ryman has spoken. You probably should not lead off Francisco Lindor because he knows. As for Pete Alonso, he returns. There was some speculation that obviously he would not, but he comes back to the New York Mets. I just can't wait to see what he's going to do because even in a down year, he still had 30-plus homers. Exactly. That's what everyone was saying. Like a down year for Pete Alonso, especially coming out of the gate in 2019, he having 50
that boy turned up in the postseason. I'll tell you that, though, Chet.
Power. When you look at the numbers, power versus left-hand
Boy
pitching.
turned up in the postseason.
85 overall. Probably, I mean, we could bring in Rory to ask, but it's probably due to his defense in the past couple of years. But he said he was looking to improve upon it. He probably feels a lot more relaxed now that he's got the deal with the Mets. He wanted to be back there, so I'm excited for him this year. All right, let's bring back in Rory and more on Pete Alonso. Just give us a sense, or where do you want to weigh in on Pete Alonso's rating and how you guys arrived at that number?
Yeah, absolutely. What brings it up is that power. Big home run hitter. The only places could really be knocking him is, as you mentioned, fielding. Not one of the fleetest of foot, so the speed's not too high. And then the strikeout issue brings his vision down quite a bit. You know, he doesn't strike out at an insane rate, but definitely above league average. So that just brings his overall down. But at 85, still very good and one of the top first basemen in the game still.
Well, Rory, he's a 2-time home run derby champ. All he's supposed to do is drive dudes in and hit tanks. So stand by, Rory. Much more with him throughout the course of the stream.
All right.
Your MLB The Show 25
Phillies.
top 5 players in the Philadelphia
I figured Bryce Harper would be up there, to be honest.
Their ratings. Bryce Harper checks in at a 95.
Ryan Sky's 83, Chet.
Players at 90 overall ratings, Zach Wheeler, Trey Turner. Then it's Matt Strahm and Bryson Stott. Let's bring in the former Philadelphia Philly, J-Roll, Jimmy Rollins, who joins us now. Hey, J-Roll, I know that there are people to this day that come up to you all the time and say, I used you as a player on MLB The Show, and you raked, you hit bombs. I mean, that has to happen, right?
It does. And what the surprising part is when it's the young kids and they're playing like the throwback players, like the older guys when they get to form their teams. I never really played after a certain age, so to hear that they used me during these certain years and my numbers was this, my speed was that, I'm like, yo, that's pretty dope, because I know how that ranking system goes and they can offend a lot of guys, so to hear that my numbers were pretty cool, I was like, yo, that's what's up.
Hey, when you look at this Philadelphia Phillies team, obviously there are stars everywhere. Which do you think is the more dominant unit? The Philadelphia Philly lineup or the Philadelphia Phillies rotation?
Yeah, lineup for sure.
Wow. That's a great question. I really think they're a pitching forward organization, and that's hard to say because you have so much stump, so much talent in that lineup. But Zach Wheeler, Nola, then you got Luzardo coming over, Sanchez, Ranger, what they were doing last year. Man, when you have that type of starting pitching,
rotation is good.
It easier for your offense to go out there and just execute, because if you put up runs, you know your starting pitching is going to come back and hold that lead, as opposed to how many do we need to score today.
What are your expectations for Zach Wheeler? Now, you know, he's at the top of that rotation along with Aaron Nola. What are your expectations for Wheeler in 2025?
I feel every time he's out there, he's a Cy Young candidate. And that doesn't change.
Praise
That's
right
the
there.
type of stuff that he has. That's the maturity that we've seen from him over the years, and especially since he's put on that Phillies uniform. So he's going to lead the charge. Nola is going to continue to improve. He has moments where he's up and down and just get that little bit more consistent. But Zach Wheeler, he's been the horse. Reminds me of when we had Cole Hamels. Every time he took the mound, we knew if we scored 3, we were probably going to win.
It's good, bro.
When you look at this rotation, you mentioned the depth. You've got Jesus Luzardo, who comes over from Miami. He stays in the division. I mean, that is a very, I mean, to have Jesus Luzardo in the middle or back end of your
they kind of made that trade.
That is saying something right there.
It really is, and I like the move. We didn't do a lot as an organization in the offseason. I don't know if there was anything that we could have done. I know they have money restrictions and just people that you have to look out for the future. But I do like that addition. It was surprising. I don't know where it came from, but I love the fact that he's with our team and not down in Florida.
What's your favorite part of Trey Turner's game when you watch him play?
His explosiveness. It can happen at any moment. You know, there's a confidence to it that when he gets rolling, it's like the team follows. And I really like that about him, that he's a leader on the field.
I mean, we saw the 23 World Baseball Classic.
You have your generals on the team.
You know what I mean?
There's always one guy that seems like there's a spark, and that's hard to say because Bryce Harper's there. Bryce is the powerhouse. But when Trey is rolling, everybody starts to fall in line, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
Well, Jimmy Rollins, pop from both sides of the plate, and if you're an MLB The Show player, you know how electric and devastating his virtual card is. J-Roll, we appreciate you joining us, man. Thank you.
All right, thanks for having me, guys.
Shout out Jimmy Rollins.
For me?
Michael Harris.
Oh my goodness. How could you? It's so beautiful.
Let's go with this guy.
I just want to thank my teammates, coaches, training staff, you Braves fans. It means a lot, 3 years in a row. Definitely going to be on the show this year, so I appreciate it.
MLB The Show 25.
It's Acuna.
Thank you. No hurto.
We've talked about the Mets, we've talked about the Phillies, and as you can see, it's time to talk.
They put Chris Sale. Hold on.
At the top,
Damn.
Chris Sale, the reigning, defending Cy Young Award winner.
I ain't gonna put him over Acuna, but goddamn.
Ronald Acuna Jr. checks in at a 93. Spencer Strider just outside of 90. He's at 88. Matt Olson, and Michael Harris II.
Michael Harris is at 87.
And I know you had a question you wanted to ask Rory about Ronald Acuna Jr. and his rating. Why don't you take it away?
Yeah, 100%. So 93, it's pretty high, but again, he's coming off Tommy John surgery this year. 40-70 in 2023, NL MVP. He had an outstanding year.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, Rory, about the 93 rating and how you guys rate someone that's coming back from an injury like this, and what can you expect from him in 2025?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I guess the way that we do get attributes, we start looking at the past 3 seasons.
I was about to say this. They look at the last 3 years.
23, 24 coming into this year and get kind of general average of those attributes. And then we'll measure,
Yeah, if you don't realize they do over 3 years. So it's like...
season. So with Ronald Acuna Jr., we're looking at 2023 where he had an insane season. I want to say he started last year as a 99 overall. Then 2024, not the best year for him when he was healthy, then had the injury. So he does drop down a few points, dropping down to 93, but we still, expect the sky is the limit with him. He's still going to hit a ton of home runs. When he's healthy, he's going to hit well. He plays great defense, and also he's going to steal bases. He still had, I want to say, over 15 stolen bases last year in his limited time. So I think we'll expect MVP caliber numbers again when he's healthy.
Yeah, Roy, he's definitely he's good TV. When he's playing and he's right. The Atlanta Braves. It's been a while since I saw a team go through this many injuries to signature players and stars seemingly at the same time. They get these guys back. It's almost like they get a whole new team.
Yes, 100%. And
I
think a lot of people, I would make jokes like, we all forgot how good the 2023 Braves are. We all forgot that 5 of their players had 30-plus home runs.
Yeah.
We forgot about their starting rotation because, again, losing Spencer Strider and Ronald Acuna Jr. within weeks of each other for the entire year. Austin Riley had injuries. Ozzie Albies had injuries. It felt like the entire team was plagued by injuries. And to your point, 2 of their
team was really
players.
injured.
So we're going to talk about another one, Spencer Strider, who's coming back.
I think, look, you obviously got Chris Sale at the top. He's coming off a Cy Young season.
So they got pooped on in
Lopez
24.
was a revelation. But Spencer Strider, coming off the elbow injury, look, I mean, when he's right, he is pumping it in at 99 to 100 miles per hour. You see the K per 9 in these ratings. And once again, just some questions in the chat. These are offline ratings, guys. I'm hoping for a healthy Spencer Strider, and so too are obviously the Braves.
Oh, yeah, and he's so young, too, 26 years old. We've mentioned his K per 9.
It's actually funny thinking about the live series cards because they're all going to be worse than these ratings now that you actually think about it.
So
if Trout's a 90,
I think that's
what is Ohtani, 95?
Led Major League Baseball with 20 wins in 2023.
96?
Of course, had Tommy John surgery in 2024. Matt Olson. We were talking about Pete Olson and his Pete Alonso and his ability to drive in runs. Well, Matt Olson leads Major League Baseball with 451 RBIs since the start of the 2021 season. As you see his ratings here, offline ratings yet again. Power versus righties, 84.
I feel like these ratings are going to be a little bit worse. Or kind of the same for some players.
But he's another one I felt like his numbers
were
okay, but it still felt like a down season for him.
Yeah, well, what's funny about Matt Olson is the year prior, he sets the single-season home run record for the Atlanta Braves, and then anything after that I think would be considered a down season. But 148 hits, 29 home runs, 98 RBIs. I think we are going to expect an uptick in power, but the most impressive aspect about Matt Olson, in my opinion, is he's played every single game for the Atlanta Braves in the past 4 seasons. 4 straight years, 162 games. Like, his durability is off the charts.
It's impressive.
And you know what? That's something that's really pervasive throughout that lineup.
Yes.
Austin Riley, when he's healthy, he's in the lineup every day. Ozzie Albies, and as you mentioned, Matt Olson. All right, so we've talked about the big 3 in the National League East. It's the Mets, it's the Braves, it's the Phillies. One of those 3 teams.
Look at the teams that are horrible.
Champion. But a team that could be an irritant for the rest
Nationals.
Of the division, specifically those 3 teams, the Washington Nationals. Now let's take a look at their offline ratings Again,
Michael Parker's a
Nathaniel
76.
Lowe, who comes over via trade with the Texas Rangers. He is the highest-rated Washington Nationals. Luis Garcia Jr., who had a
God
bit of
damn,
a
this
breakout
rebuild about to be
season,
hard.
is at 78, along with shortstop.
Actually, the Rockies are still probably worse. What am I
CJ
talking
Abrams.
about?
Jacob Young is at 77.
Rockies are probably
Mitchell
worse now I
Parker
think about it.
is at 76. Now, let me bring Rory back in, because, Rory, there's two players that I want to ask you about that are missing in that top 5. That is James Wood and Dylan Cruz. How did they not crack the top 5? These are clearly young players about to enter their first full season, but extremely talented players.
Yeah, absolutely. Extremely talented. We're starting them overalls maybe just a little bit lower, just letting them get their footing in the door for MLB level. You know, they've shown great numbers in the minor leagues, but we're just letting them, you know, prove themselves at the major league level. And I can assure you, probably early on in the season when they've done really well, those overalls are going to be a lot higher when we do our roster updates.
All right, good stuff. You know, CJ
Dylan Cruz hasn't played a lot either.
In that top 5. The season didn't end the way he
Wood has a
would
little
want
bit
to,
though.
But I was just at their spring training camp, and they love where he's at.
Yes.
And I had someone tell me that CJ Abrams is kind of the straw that stirs the drink.
More gambling for him.
And if he's able to take that next step, then this return to prominence for the Washington Nationals kind of gets jump-started.
Yeah, he has a rare power and speed combination that is obviously very useful and successful in Major League Baseball. I think what we're looking for with CJ is he started off last year super hot, got him his first All-Star nod, then the second half of the season kind of dipped off. So we're trying to look for that durability 162-game season for CJ, but I like what they're cooking with the Nationals. A year away, 2 years away, like they're getting there.
I don't think that they're a team that is going to be in the postseason this year, but they could make things difficult for the teams that will be. But 2026 and 2027, look out. All right, let's talk about the Miami Marlins. This is
Jesus.
team
Alcantara.
transition. They have a new manager.
Third, tough.
McCullough. Their top 5 looks like this. Yuri Perez is
Perez
at
gets
81.
number 1.
Braxton Garrett and Sandy Alcantara is at 78. Otto Lopez.
I thought they've traded so many players, so it's like,
the son of Jeff
you know what I mean?
The former Marlin is at 76. And Kate, I was also at Marlins camp last week.
Okay.
And they were very, very thrilled from what they've seen so far from Sandy Alcantara as he returns from Tommy John surgery. His first 2 spring starts in the books, he was sitting about 98, 99. It looked smooth and easy. He's their opening day starter, by the way, and there's a very good chance his rating is only going to go up.
Yeah, Sandy.
That's when the Marlins will be good, when he's on the mound.
Really good pitch
This guy's actually
from
insane.
2019 to 2022 was among one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. Obviously, got himself.
Why did I watch him
during those years? But 2023 had a
Let's say it was
down year,
22.
and then was out with Tommy John
I don't know. I watched him versus the Phillies, and he was
pitching so long,
absolutely
and we have a
insane
lot
how
of
good he
pitchers
was.
coming back this year, and
Like, he went like 8 innings. I was like, oh my god, dude. Like, he went like 105 pitches or something. Like, no runs given up. Just insanely talented. Can't wait to have him back in the league.
Of 2024, you see his offline rating number here.
Perez gets the highest.
Pitching clutch category,
How you doing?
it's an 81. Slider control is at 92. And, you know, we had a couple of people mention in the chat, no Xavier Edwards, no Connor Norby, but those are 2 guys that in a lineup that's going to be filled with platoons, those are 2 guys that figure to be in the lineup every day at third and short, respectively.
Absolutely. Connor Norby has one of the best swings in baseball, so I think I'm really excited to watch him play as well.
Yeah. All right, so that's the
no one's watching Marlins baseball,
Marlins.
unfortunately, so that's tough.
Introducing the big board, the blueprint. Be in charge.
I mean, we're doing pretty good. We're 2 divisions down, 10 teams in, 10 teams in. Doing pretty solid, chat. They're actually speeding it up. I actually like the momentum we're at. They're picking up the pace a little bit on these, which is actually kind of nice. Because, you know, last year they went through like the teams like really slowly. I'm not even gonna lie. So I'm glad they're kind of picking up the pace here, you know, on these. I'm not gonna lie.
Clayton Reed, he's senior game designer at PlayStation.
So I'm kind of glad they're picking up the pace. 10 teams in, feeling good. Almost an hour in. It's pretty good.
Let's talk about franchise mode. What new features can you tell us about in franchise mode for MLB The Show 25?
Our primary focus
We're
this
talking about
year
franchise.
was free agency, and specifically, a challenging system. We wanted to streamline it. We wanted to add a lot of depth. So free agency was our big push. Additionally, we looked at player evaluation. There's a few pieces to that. We improved regression. We wanted to reward defensive players with improved defensive WAR. Our contracts, terms, and AAV are the most realistic we've ever had. And then beyond that, we wanted to do a better job of looking at players' perceived value versus their actual contract value to improve our trade metric. So all that should lead to better trades, better contract negotiations.
And to that end, give us elaborate, if you would, a little bit on the front office experience mode.
I will. So we met with GMs, we've met with scouts, we've met with farm
Yeah, I like that they met with
directors,
scouts and GMs. That's pretty cool. I'm not even gonna lie, Chet.
the knowledge we glean from them, combined with we love our community, we love their feedback. So all that led to this new evolving front office experience. And what we want with that was it started a few years back. We added player metric, trade metric. We revamped the scouting and draft system, and now it's with the new free agency system. And kind of what we want is we want authenticity, we want challenge, and then we want replayability. And that's where the streamlined nature, setting your big board weekly, and the depth of the logic. That's really where that comes into play, the replayability. So that's all part of the new front office experience.
So Clayton, you mentioned the new free agency system. Kind of highlight a couple of points that you think are worth that our players should know about coming in the game this year.
It's gonna be a lot harder.
For us is we want it to be challenging. We want choices to matter. So
want it to be challenging.
You have to set your big board weekly. You have to.
Hopefully it's not too hard though.
Once they're on your big board,
I mean, hopefully it's not too bad. Because I feel like it could get kind of annoying.
You have to gauge whether you want to keep them on the big board. You got rival rumors. You got all these decisions you have to make, and then a ton of depth. It's going to create variety, create replayability. We have market setters. We have big market logic. We have offer rejection penalty. If you lowball someone, they're gonna, their interest in signing with you is gonna drop. So there's all this depth to it that we love for replayability, for variety, and then the key to us and the fun is in the challenge of it.
Well, Clayton, we appreciate the time. Excellent choice on the throwback jersey. That is a fancy, sweet
Rangers jersey goes hard.
So we appreciate the time, man. And we can't wait to try out all these new features in franchise mode. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
You got it. Your MLB The Show rating, top 5 players for the New York
the Yankees now, okay.
Just
skip over the NL Central, I guess. Okay. See how it is, guys.
Aaron Judge, Garrett Cole,
very random.
Number 88 on the ratings.
99.
Jazz Chisholm Jr. and Max Fried. Both at 85. Former big league reliever Dellin Betances. Spent most of his 10-year big league career with the New York Yankees, and he joins us now. Dellin, you were telling me as we celebrate the 20th anniversary of MLB The Show that on your way to the big leagues, as you were coming up, you spent a lot of time playing MLB The Show.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I religiously play. Growing up as a kid, I loved playing MLB The Show. In my high school, we used to always have battles to play some of the games, and always used to pick the Yankees for the most part. And then once I got to the show in 2014, I stopped playing as often, which was weird because I always wanted to see how it would look to play your own self, and that kind of stopped a little bit.
Well, let's talk about your former teammate, Aaron Judge. He wears number 99. He's number 99 in the ratings. What's something that our viewers and gamers maybe don't know about Aaron Judge as a player that they should know?
Well, I mean, it's only fitting that number 99 is rated 99 because the guy does everything well. I think, from the times I remember when we played video games after games, we didn't play too much MLB The Show. We would play other games, but I don't know if he plays MLB The Show too much, but it's very fitting to be rated the highest rating you can get, which is pretty cool.
What kind of teammate is he?
Yeah.
Oh, he's the best, man. You know, coming in as a young player, rookie, and to have the type of impact he had on the clubhouse. He was a guy that was very observant. You know, he liked to watch guys the way they kind of went around their business, about their business. And
Pretty cool.
Gardner was a guy that, you know, obviously as a Yankee, was somebody that he looked up to, and kind of Gardner made it his way to kind of put him under his wing, and you know, just to see the player he's been, and how he impacts the clubhouse. You know, as a teammate, we respected him very much.
Yeah, of course, you're talking about former Yankee outfielder Brett Gardner, who's spent a lot of good years there as a member of the New York Yankees. Jazz Chisholm Jr. going to second base. We saw him play third base a lot last year when he came over from Miami. What are your expectations for Jazz now that he's back at second base?
The Jazz will do good.
It'll be fun just to watch him at his natural position,
Yeah.
being able to play second base, something that he's very comfortable doing. You know, I can't wait to watch him. Obviously, him, you know, playing third last year, I thought he did a phenomenal job. But now going back to his natural position, it'll allow him to just play freely, and I think it'll, you know, make him play better overall. Like, and when you don't have to, you know, third base is a new position for him. He has to work probably a lot on trying to learn that position. Now he goes back to something he's super comfortable, and I feel like it'll help his bat as well.
You got Garrett Cole at the top of the rotation. Carlos Rodon took a big step last season. Now you throw Max Fried into that mix. What are your expectations for Fried?
I think Fried's going to do great.
Man, somebody that I've truly admired watching him
He's
as a
going to do
fan
good.
of the game of baseball. Somebody that's,
Like,
you know,
he's
that
actually
hits
on.
the
He's
ball
going to
every
cook.
5 days, goes deep into the games, makes the reliever's job a lot easier. So, I mean, I expect him to win 15-plus games.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
180 more innings, and gives.
Yeah, he's going to win him a lot of
He's going
games.
to give the team a chance to win every time he takes the ball.
And lastly, Dellin, speaking of bullpen and relievers, you've got Devin Williams at the back end and the airbender. What are your expectations for Williams in New York?
No.
If you look at Devin Williams, since he's came in, he's taken the league by storm. Somebody with electric stuff, airbender that nobody can hit.
It's nice to see how Devin Williams does in New York.
And
a lot more pressure, but
set him up. It's
we'll
just
see.
Something that's going to help him, because he's just going to come in most of the time in the ninth inning and have to worry about those guys instead of maybe throwing 4 or 5 outs, which I think will be huge for him. I got him, you know, over 30 saves and put in the same amount. You know, like his ERA has been great every year. So I think a great addition by Cashman. And, you know, it's always good when you can have a solidified closer.
That's former big league reliever Dellin Betances joining us. Dellin, we appreciate the time, man. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, let's reset.
Shout out
Welcome to a
him.
brand new hour. It's the MLB The Show 25 ratings reveal. Kate Maniscalco, MLB content creator. You can find her on Instagram at Ask Kate. That's Kate with an I. I'm Robert Flores from here at MLB Network.
right.
You can check out my streams right here on Twitch.
11
at
teams in, guys.
twitch.tv/RealRoflo.
1
Shout
hour
out to
in.
Major
It's
Mangoes,
pretty good.
who's in the chat. Also, Caleb Spar on Twitch wanting to know, hey, did I miss the Cubs? No. Haven't missed the Cubs.
No.
Haven't missed them yet.
got a
We're going to
lot.
circle back to the NL Central in
I was
just
about
a
to
moment.
say.
But let's talk more about those New York Yankees. You could make the argument after the departure of Juan Soto and with their signings that they are, on paper, a better team.
Yeah, I agree.
However, they've now suffered through some injuries, Giancarlo Stanton, etc. What do you think about the Yankees this year?
Yeah, on paper,
I
like
like
we
the
said,
Yankees a lot.
it's a little bit of a weird lineup, but I think that it works. Bellinger, Goldie, Devin Williams, Max Fried, all those additions, obviously, I think on paper make them a better team than last year. But as we've mentioned now, Giancarlo Stanton, he is going to be on the IL for at least 6 weeks. So there are some areas that they're going to need to improve upon, but all around, I think they are better than they were last year.
Yeah, third base is one that
base
comes
is
to
one.
mind. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. So, and remember, guys, these are offline ratings. We're going to talk more about Diamond Dynasty a little bit later. The drops are on, so make sure that you're
just going to talk about the deep dive at this point. I already know it, Chad.
And I've been told I've pulled 2 Mike Trouts. I don't know how I did it, but I did it, guys. I did it. All right, let's talk about the Yankees. Well, one of their biggest rivals, the Boston Red Sox, and this is a team
Where the Sox
much
at?
different from the end of 2024
6
to
guys on here. Hold on.
2025. I love this lineup. I love what 2025 could hold for the Boston Red
They got
Sox.
Casas and
Rafael
Hulk at
Devers
80,
is
by the way.
top, along with Jaron Duran, who was a breakout star for the
Jaron Duran's the
Sox
GOAT.
in
Shout out to him.
2024. Garrett Crochet.
And we know why he's
comes
the
over
GOAT,
from
guys.
White
Come on.
Sox. Alex Bregman signs after leaving the Houston Astros, America's team, and then Tristan Casas and
America's
Tanner Houck
team?
check in at 80. Now,
What are
as
we
we
talking
sit
about here,
right now,
Roflo?
there is some question about where Alex Bregman is going to play. He has said, put me at third, put me at second. I don't care. I just want to win. Setting that aside, I like this Red Sox team a lot.
Yeah, I do too.
I think on paper they have a really great lineup. As you mentioned, the addition of Alex Bregman.
I think they're a
We see
playoff
his
team,
rating
guys. I
right
really
now.
do.
I have a weird feeling that might go up last year.
Yeah.
Might go up next year, excuse me, after he gets a full season at Fenway. His numbers, 375, 490, 750 in 21 games at Fenway Park. We know he's going to mash. That Green Monster is going to get a ton of action.
Seems weird seeing him in a Red Sox jersey. I ain't gonna lie.
Third base, we're not entirely sure, but
been
defensively
Astros
and
whole career.
offensively, I like this fit for Boston a lot.
Well, and just a little sneaky little Diamond Dynasty conversation. You got to love the positional flexibility. I mean, he already had first base and third base eligibility, even some left field. You put him at second base, that could make your Diamond Dynasty lineup with a souped-up Alex Bregman card even better. Garrett Crochet comes over from the White Sox. I mean, he has looked very good so far at the beginning of the spring, and that was something that seemingly was missing for this rotation.
I think
force, that dominant
I don't know. I still think they gave up a lot to get him, but he is a really good player. That's going to help them. But the White Sox got a lot for him. I really like Kyle Teo that they got for the White Sox. I don't think they should have gave him up for the Sox,
I love
but
when we see guys that are able to transition
I don't know.
out of the bullpen and become elite
See what
starting
happens.
pitchers. Obviously, he was with the
You
White
know?
Sox last year, but I'm excited to watch him.
Kyle Teo's such a good player, man. He's so
contend for
good.
the playoffs, specifically in the AL. It's wide open right now, right? So he's going to lead the Boston Red Sox potentially to a playoff berth.
Yeah, I think they're a
And
playoff
I'm excited.
team.
They're already giving him Chris Sale comparisons, another lefty for the Boston Red Sox. So I'm excited about Garrett.
Yeah, and don't forget about Lucas Giolito.
Yep.
He's set to return, and at the back end of the bullpen, you got Aroldis Chapman and Liam Hendricks, also coming off an injury. He's set to make his return in 2025. Rafael Devers was the subject of a lot of conversation, but there's certain cards that MLB, that when you're playing MLB The Show, you just rake with because the swing is so smooth. Rafael Devers is one of those cards. Where are you on Devers for 2025?
Yeah, he hits the ball well. He takes a ton of walks. He produces runs at an extremely high rate. 86 overall. He's one of 5 hitters with 25-plus home runs, 850 OPS or higher in his last 4 years. So he has been a consistent piece to that Red Sox offense for multiple years now. And I kind of understand why he's like, oh, I don't really want to move. He's like, I've been here long. Yeah. It's my position. I'm an established hitter. I'm an established presence in this lineup, but I'm excited about his numbers this year.
Look, he's still a relatively young player, and I think we tend to
signed for life though over there. I ain't gonna lie.
the difficulty that it requires to be a DH only.
100%.
Especially at someone at Devers' age who's used to playing in the field. His defense right now, not as good as Alex Bregman, but to Rafael's credit, his defense has improved. So we'll see where Alex Cora, what he does with his lineup. All right, let's stay in the American League East. The Baltimore Orioles.
Baltimore.
They are a franchise that is
94
with a lot of young talent. They've yet to win and make a deep run to the postseason.
Yeah, these guys are horrible in the postseason, but their team is nice.
Ratings yet again look like this. Gunnar Henderson, part of the tri-cover in MLB The Show 25,
94.
along with Ellie De La Cruz and Paul Skeens. He's at 94.
Eflin's at 83, guys.
Adley Rutschman is at 88. Felix Bautista is back.
Yeah, he's back from Tommy John.
Two pitchers in
Can't wait to see how he does.
And Zach Eflin, both with 83 rating. Gunnar Henderson, I think,
That's what they got Craig Kimbrell.
already one of the young superstars in this game.
100%. If I'm starting a franchise, I would love to start it with Gunnar Henderson. Since he burst out on the scene in 2022,
This kid was really good. I saw him play in AAA, guys, and he was the real deal. I mean, you could just tell by watching him how good he was.
On the field, you saw last year in 2024,
like,
some of his best numbers.
he was so good for Norfolk, Todd. And he comes to the league,
his defense
and he just
quite
shoves, right? He's just the guy got like
he sure makes
when he came to the league. So
yeah, Reckless Pat in the chat wants to know. I think this is for Rory. He says that Adley Rutschman should be a 90 But Rory, I kind of feel like his rating is pretty good where it's at, especially
Yeah, I
how
agree.
we saw him in the season last year. Now, just for full context, he got hit on the hand in June when he was behind the plate, and he really wasn't the same hitter. But I think his rating is just about right. How did you guys come up with this current rating for Adley?
Yeah, I would agree with the 88 overall. Feels pretty good with him. We have him down as one of the best blocking catchers in the game. His blocking rating is super high up there. All around as a catcher defensively, he's very solid. The bat is where, if there's anything to be desired to get better, it's that. Not saying that it's not already very good. But if he adds on a few more home runs, his contact numbers still look very good. So if there's any place he can improve upon moving forward, it's, hitting a few more home runs. But by no means is 88 overall bad for him. I feel like, very, very good for him. Yeah.
All right, good stuff, Adley. Felix Bautista, Kate, is also back.
Yes.
He checks in. I think his rating was at 85.
Can't wait for Felix to be back.
Mount Bautista is back for the Orioles, and that back end of the bullpen now gets even better with him back. You see his K per 9 and pitching clutch at a robust 99. He's one of the dominant closers in the game when he's healthy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like we said, even
My focus what, like 6'10" or something? 6'9", 6'8". This guy's huge.
Stuff with his splitter and forcing fastball mix, and even if he can return from injury and give us somewhat of what he did in 2024, he's gonna dominate for the Orioles this year.
All right, let's continue our American League East conversation.
We going Toronto.
Vladimir Guerrero.
They got a lot of them here. Tied at 82.
A former cover athlete for this game. He is the highest.
Santander, good one.
He's at 90. Anthony Santander comes from the Baltimore.
Yeah, Vargo and Garcia tied at 82, guys.
Jeff Hoffman, who they signed, he's at 86. Then you got Gausman, Jimenez at 83 and 82, and then two more 82 players in Dalton Varsho and Yimi Garcia.
And his trade I thought was pretty good for him.
Bichette, on that.
That's true, yeah.
He obviously dealt with a couple of injuries and really wasn't much of a factor in 2024. But Vlad Jr., he has said that he's prepared to hit free agency. So now you wonder, are we looking at the final games or final season of Vlad Jr. in a Blue Jays uniform?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, potentially 2024, we saw him have that 2021 MVP caliber type season, right? And one thing to note about Vlad is since he's in a walk year, since he's in a prove it year,
Blue Jays, there's Angel.
He's going to perform up to the top of his ability, okay? I think it's going to be very similar to 2024.
Yeah, I think he's going, guys. I don't think he's signing back. There's no way, bro.
Someone that's consistently getting on base.
He wants to win. It's very clear. He's very good.
His season, and then potentially seeing where he's going to end up in free agency. Maybe Boston.
Ooh, could be. Or maybe in a Yankee uniform.
I would love nothing more. I'd love nothing more.
We will see. Big Old Buck says this is the year that Vlad becomes the final boss. Ooh. Shout out to The Rock. Yeah, I mean, I'm expecting a big season. You know he's going to be motivated.
Yeah.
Right? Yes. After the contract negotiations or the contract extension didn't get
Bro, because he's projected to have like a $400, $500 million contract.
I'm also interested to see what Bo Bichette looks like. He's not on the ratings. We saw he mentioned a couple of injuries that he had to deal with last season. He's another one. He's going into his walk year as well.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be a bounce back season for Bo Bichette.
Yeah, I 100% agree because, again, that combination of injuries that he had to deal with last season, now coming into this year, it's nice that Vladdy wasn't traded during the offseason because now he gets to play with Vladdy again.
Yeah.
The Blue Jays lineup's looking pretty good. There's some power in that lineup, so they can absolutely contend, and I think I'm really excited to watch Bo Bichette this year.
Blue Jays
let's bring back
contending.
in Rory McCann, senior live designer.
I don't know
Bo
about that
Bichette,
one, but
I mentioned
maybe.
it, and a couple of people in the chat have also mentioned it. He's not on this on the top of the Toronto Blue Jays ratings. Where did you guys land on Bo Bichette?
Yeah, with Bo, he's not that far off the list. He might be just one player below that. And you mentioned it, dealt with injuries. When he did play, wasn't the best season for him. The glove is getting a bit better for him. The bat just took a step back in 2024, so his numbers overall wise just kind of dropped him off of this list, but he's not far below. And we're big fans of Bo here, so we do expect him to have a good season. And when we do our roster updates, we're going to make sure to get him up, and he might be in the
if he
top
plays
5
well, he's going to
at
get
the end of
up
the
for
season.
sure.
Yeah, don't sleep on those roster updates. Those are definitely worthy ones. Maybe you invest for your Diamond Dynasty purposes. You invest in some silver or some golds, and maybe they eventually turn into diamonds. This Toronto Blue Jays lineup has always been right-handed heavy, but now you get Anthony Santander come over, the switch-hitting outfielder who went for 40 homers last season. What are your expectations for him as we see his offline ratings here? The power versus righty and lefties at 93 and 94.
Yeah, I'm excited about Santander because, again, as we've mentioned, they needed the power in that lineup. 44 home runs. He was en route to 129 WRC+, 3.3 F4. This type of offensive production is what the Toronto Blue Jays were missing last year. Now with Vladdy as well as Santander, they're getting a lot of power in that lineup.
Should be a lot of fun in the American League East as the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, and the Orioles, they're going to be fighting for supremacy.
Let's talk about the team in shambles. No?
Familiar faces and new
Are we just skipping over the Rays, guys? Hello?
Ramirez is one of the legends in MLB The Show.
Are we just...
There's also been some changes.
I guess we're not talking about the Rays. All right.
Which should be challenging for our players.
Very random.
For that and for more on what's new.
Oh, here's Ashley.
Show 25. Let's bring in Ashley Sanders. She's a live content designer. Ashley, you're an active streamer. You're streaming on Twitch. What are some of the new elements of the game in MLB The Show 25 that you're most excited to show off to other people in your chat during the course of your streams?
I'm most excited to getting back to the year-long power curve, really building that team from the ground up. You know,
about time.
Silvers, golds, low diamonds, trying to earn those players in some of our fan favorite modes, like Team Affinity, that's going to have 90 available players on launch night. So I'm excited to work with my community to get
the first time they said that,
on
actually.
my squad as soon as possible.
90 available players.
Throughout the course of the year, so much of what you work on, it's guarded like state secrets. It's very secretive, right? So how excited are you now that you finally get to talk publicly and with people in your chat about some of the new changes and some of the things that they'll be seeing in MLB The Show 25?
Oh, I am absolutely thrilled. My chat loves to tease me. They try to find ways to get things out of me, and I'm like, no, I'm not saying anything. But now, as things become public, as people start seeing the different trailers and the deep dives that you have hosted, Roflo, I'm just beyond excited to talk to them about it. Because it's like, hey, my work for the past year is finally on the table. I can enjoy it. They can enjoy it, and then they can tease me for not telling them about it sooner.
Hey, we saw a little bit real quick on the video coming into this segment. Some of the changes in fielding and throwing, just give us a taste of what players should understand about what's coming with these changes.
For sure, defense matters even more in MLB The Show 25. Our fans have gotten very used to the different throw meters, home run meters, and now there's extra.
It is, I'm not gonna lie, it's very annoying hearing kind of the same stuff over and over again. I'm not gonna lie, Chad.
To get a runner out, whether you're robbing a home run. So there's a lot more delicacy and a lot more risk reward, and if people want to risk it, depending on the situation on the base paths.
Yeah, when you're building up a lineup, you really need to make sure that you've got a capable fielder there at those important and crucial moments during the course of the game. Ashley, we appreciate the time and look forward to catching your streams and can't wait to play MLB The Show 25.
Thank you so much, Roflo.
You got it. All right,
there we
people
are.
Wondering, hey, you forgot the Rays. No. We usually try to, because it's good TV, try not to talk about multiple teams at the same time. You know, it's something new.
Well, Hassan Kim at 81. Okay.
Brandon Lau checks in at
Last two guys are 79,
Here
guys.
comes the money. Shane O'Mac is at 82. The Heartbreak Kim, Ha-Sung Kim, is at 81. Yandy Diaz is at 80. Edwin Uceta and Ryan Pepio rounding out the list at 79. Look, I stopped diminishing or counting out the Tampa Bay Rays because they always seem to figure it out. Are they going to win the division? They wouldn't be my pick to win the division. Could they figure somehow on the periphery of the postseason? It would not surprise me. That's just how the Rays are.
Yeah, and then especially with the people that they're returning this year, Shane McClanahan. I mean, Ha-Sung Kim, I think we were all pretty surprised he went to the Rays, but that's a huge pickup.
I was not surprised.
Ha-Sung Kim's season from 2023, obviously.
Who was surprised about that?
Shane McClanahan, I'm so excited to watch pitch this year. A lot of these pitchers we almost forgot about, but 3 seasons he had a sub-3.
Wait, no, actually, who's surprised about that? He didn't want to be with the Padres anymore because the way they treated him. I don't blame him.
A little low for Shane, but 92 four-seam fastball. So
interesting.
I'm excited to watch him come back and
want to play
bounce back for the Rays this year.
Yeah, he's 33.
Talking about getting rid of him when they signed Bogarts, so I don't know about that.
Over 3, as you mentioned, in 3 seasons. Missed all of last year with Tommy John surgery. Brandon Lau, 21 homers, 473 slugs in 107 games during the 24 season. You take a look at his power numbers. Powers against righties. Of course, that left-handed bat is at 81. His batting clutch is a bit higher at 88. He's another guy that they missed who, had to struggle through some injuries last season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he ended up, though, when he was on the field, he did a fantastic job. He was second in hard hit rate among second basemen. So at least he's someone that's giving you
hard hit rate
in the lineup.
What even is that stat?
Production offensively for the Tampa Bay Rays.
All right, so that's a look at the American League East. Here are your MLB The Show ratings for the Cleveland Guardians, the top 5. As you might expect, it's Jose Ramirez at 95. Emmanuel Clase is rated as a 91. Cade Smith, Tanner Bybee, and Carlos Santana, Slam Tana, is back in Cleveland. Nick Swisher, 12-year big league veteran, spent parts of in Cleveland as a member of the Guardians, then known as a member of the Cleveland Indians. Nicky Swish, we are celebrating the 20th anniversary of MLB The Show. And I know you have a youngster in your house that is a big fan of the game.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, bro. I mean, my oldest daughter, Emmy, right, just started playing softball this year. And because she started doing that, we had to get MLB The Show. And the one thing that we didn't really realize was you could create your own player as a female. Yep. So my girl Emmy told me she's going to be the first female in the big leagues. And you know what's cool about that, Roflo? I have kind of taught her how to hit through the game, which is really
pretty cool.
So Emmy and I play the game together. We talk about the game. We've just really enjoyed all the fun we've had with it.
I love it. I love it when the game can be used as a learning tool. Lucas Giolito uses it, and a couple of other pitchers use it as a scouting tool as well. So that's really cool to hear. Hey, let me ask you about Jose Ramirez. You know, the book on him is that he's a superstar. He's probably the least talked about superstar in the game. When you look at Jose Ramirez, what do you see?
One word, wow. I mean, there's nothing on the baseball field that this cat can't do. I remember when he first came up to Cleveland, and there was a little bit of talk about him at the time. Francisco Lindor was the big name. No one was really talking about Jose Ramirez. But when he kind of came up and all of a sudden just electrically started mashing, stealing bases, making great plays all over the diamond, and that was when I really realized, like, whoa, this kid can do it all. Not only hits for average, but hits for power. He steals bases. He plays elite Gold Glove defense. Hey, there's a reason why he's a 95 on that list, bro.
The Cleveland Guardians had a dynamic bullpen last year led by Emmanuel Clase. When you look at him and you imagine yourself
Flame was good, Flame.
Someone like Clase and the arsenal that
It's been a minute, brother.
What jumps to mind?
Been a while, dude. Can't wait to see the Reds ratings. Yeah, they haven't talked about the NL Central yet. I don't know why.
I'm telling you what, man, I got the chance to really meet Emmanuel this offseason at the MLB, all MLB weekend, which was amazing.
I know what they're doing with the whole ratings and
Obviously,
everything.
what he does on the baseball field speaks for itself. Perennial all-star year in and year out, and the Guardians are lucky to be able to have a closer like him.
And what about Cade Smith, who sets him up there in that bullpen?
Well, I tell you what, man, listen, at the end of the day, if you want to have a good team, you better have a good back end of the bullpen, and that's exactly what the Guardians have. They've been tremendous in the AL Central, obviously pushing for pennants each and every year. And last year, just the success that they had, I don't think many people thought Stephen Vogt and the boys were going to be able to do what they did.
Yeah, I really didn't. I'll be honest.
Over there is a culture, and
definitely did not think that.
And he's done it in his first year. So I could not be more proud of him. Obviously, somebody that I played against and one of my boys in my generation. So I'm lucky to be able to watch him do what he's doing, because maybe one of these days, if I want to become a manager, I want to be like him.
Oh, I'd love to see what kind of clubhouse you ran. Or you run, Nicky Swish. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see you in a dugout.
That clubhouse is cooked.
You know the vibes would be high, bro.
Oh, yes, they would. Everyone would be up or get out. You can't play unless you're ready to go. Hey, Tanner Bybee, as the leader of the Cleveland Guardians rotation, when you look at his stuff and the talent he has on the mound, what do you think?
Well, I tell you what, I think, listen, I mean, if you look at the overall aesthetics of the Cleveland Guardians, I would think that their arms would probably be at the forefront of the reason why they've been as successful as they have. And at the end of the day, listen, you can spend your money on hitting, you can spend your money on pitching, and it just seems like the Cleveland Guardians have...
You're going to see Ellie's rating? Yeah, I wonder what Ellie's going to be, too. Probably going to glaze him. Probably. Hope to see Austin Hayes rating. Yeah, there's a lot of guys I want to see, but
I mean, these guys
They're going through it pretty quickly, actually, Chad. I ain't gonna lie. They're going through it pretty quickly, so that's something good to notice.
When I was there, we had a great staff, great back end of the bullpen as well, and I think that's Chris Antonetti's way of getting them into the postseason.
They've shed one too many monsters. Nah, he's always like that though. Like he's always like that.
You buying that? You think he can?
He's always so energetic. So I mean, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I had the chance to talk to Steven last year a little bit, and I was asking him, what was his approach and what was he doing a little differently than he has been in previous years? Because back before the overall exit velocity came in, he was fine just being the base hit guy. But I think what he's learning now is that he can take those big swings when he gets in good hitters counts because he has such great hand-eye coordination.
I'll say he's not on the O's anymore. Yeah, he's actually. Was he on the White Sox now? I think he's on the White Sox. If I had to guess, I'm not totally sure on that, but I think he's on the White Sox.
Because he is showing off that power, and I love the fact that he's showing multifaceted skills of what he has.
And he also knows that you get paid for extra bases. They don't pay you for singles, Nick.
Facts.
That's how you get paid.
No, baby. You want to get paid, you better slug. You better slug.
Hey, man, thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the offseason. Best of luck to your little one as she begins her road to the show journey, and I know she's going to reach the big leagues in no time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Roflo. I'll see you soon, homie.
You got it.
Gotta love Swish.
I just wish Nick would come out of his shell a little bit.
I know, God, he's so reserved.
He's the best. And once again, here are the top players for the Cleveland Guardians. As you would expect, the switch-hitting superstar Jose Ramirez is at the top at a 95, so you know that's going to be a nice diamond. Emmanuel Clase is filthy. Carlos Santana rounds out this list. I am a bit surprised that Stephen Kwan wasn't ahead of Santana.
I'm very surprised. Yeah, I mean, just his defense.
He's on the Reds. Damn, I really fell off with my knowledge.
Season last year.
White Sox fans aren't going to be happy about these.
Yeah, and as we talked about with
Yo, I didn't even think about that, bro. Holy.
He was a put the ball in play guy. Use that speed.
Are the White Sox coach yet?
But last year we saw him kind of have a little bit of a power.
I didn't think about that, bro. That's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Reds fan and I even know that.
That lineup, especially now
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
Like,
the White Sox rings are going to be
step up a little bit more power offensively.
Oh,
all around, yeah. I'm very surprised at that rating. But I know
BRB got a shit. Thanks for sharing, Flame. We appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's continue with the American League Central conversation, and now let's take a look at the Kansas City Royals. As you might expect, at the top,
Bobby
of 96 for
yeah, respect to Cole Reagans, bro. God damn.
Cole Reagans is at 87. He signed a contract extension with the Royals in the offseason. Seth Lugo, who was fantastic
got 82
last year after they signed him to a free agent contract, he's at 86.
Shout out Perez.
Got a pair of 82s, Salvador Perez and Lucas Urseg. Real quick on Urseg, he might be one of the best closers in the game that doesn't get talked about a lot.
Oh yeah.
He made a huge difference when he came over from the Athletics. So I think the Kansas City Royals, they were really good last year. Now they have a chance to be even better in 2025.
Yeah, I mean, just their starting rotation in general. Again, Cole Reagans signed that extension, so keeping him in your rotation. Seth Lugo is another one. Bobby Witt, one of the best five-tool players in baseball. All around, even Vinny Pasquantino, that entire team, I think they have a shot at making the postseason again this year.
Let me put you on the spot. So, top five players, okay? Top five players in the game. Shohei,
yes.
Mookie?
Mookie, yeah, I would say Bobby Witt.
Aaron Judge?
Yeah.
Soto? Do you put, I mean, my point is, where is Bobby Witt? Is he in your top five?
I think Bobby Witt's in my top five.
Right now, yes.
All-around player.
Right.
I think
Depends
that's
who you have, though.
Makes him the most impressive.
Some good players.
Because we don't
yeah, the Reds got him. A really cheap deal. Am I thinking? Well, you said thinking of Austin Slater, I think, on the White Sox. I think that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, Austin Hayes was on the Orioles last year. Yeah. Thinking of Slater.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
A bargain. By the way, that shot of him, he's part of the 99 club there. As the Kansas City Royals hope to continue what they did in 2024 and even beyond.
You know, Hayes is a good player for sure.
Remember, they were 2 games away.
2 games away
from from advancing.
Yeah.
So Salvador Perez, he's got the mix of, you'll see him behind the plate sometimes. He'll play some first. He'll also DH.
Yeah, he's definitely the DH.
I'm wondering what he does in 2025 because he was really good again last year.
Yeah, I mean, he's coming off, obviously, the tail end of his career. He's putting together, though, what a fantastic Hall of Fame case. His success now has spanned over a decade at this point, winning his first Gold Glove in 2013, driving in 48 home runs in 2021, obviously having insane offensive production in 2024. Yeah. So he's putting together a pretty good Hall of Fame case.
Yeah, he's on the Hall of Fame highway.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not that's
not
a stretch. Cole Reagans had the 4th highest whiff rate, 32% in the majors last season. You take a look at his offline ratings, the 4th
whiff rate,
fastball break at 99.
Like I'm learning new stats every time I talk about someone new.
Is at 99, thus all part of an offline rating of 87. You think about what the Royals, they traded Aroldis Chapman to the Rangers.
Yep.
And they get Cole Reagans in return, and he's a frontline starter for him. That is an ace right there.
Yep, 10 to 15 starting pitcher in Major League Baseball. His whiff rate is fantastic. His K/9 was among the top.
Yeah, you take it for a World Series if you're the Rangers, though.
I'm excited for him.
The American League Central is going to be very interesting. You know, the Guardians won the division.
No, he was on the O's, then the Phillies.
So
right.
too did the Detroit Tigers, and
gotcha.
they surprised
Detroit.
a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
What kind of surprises, if any, do they have in store for 2025? Well, our offline ratings for the Detroit Tigers look like this. Tarek Skubal, the Cy Young Award winner, is at 94. He's at the top of this list for the Tigers. Then you've got Kerry Carpenter and Riley Green, who made a big step.
Jack Flaherty's at 80, guys.
Reese Olson
and
Jack Flaherty returns. He returns to the Tigers after signing a free agent contract. Tarek Skubal, you know, he might be the best pitcher in the game. I know Paul Skeens is in the mix.
No, he is
Zach
the best
Wheeler
pitcher.
could stake a claim.
He is the best pitcher.
But if life on the line, you need a win, Tarek Skubal might be the dude I go to.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean,
Paul Skeens is cool, but Tarek is better.
He doesn't walk a lot of players. He keeps the ball in the park. He does an excellent job at limiting damaging contact when he's pitching and has really solidified himself as an ace on this Tigers team, consistently going 6-7 innings, which is what we don't see quite often among a lot of starting pitchers. Yeah. Obviously, the Triple Crown last year, AL Cy Young winner. I think
Triple Crown. I mean, guys, he's
really great for the next 3-5 years.
I think another interesting player, and he was an 83 overall in his offline rating. Once again, these are offline ratings. Can't say that enough for some of you. But Kerry Carpenter, slug of 587.
Yeah, it was really good for them. Really good for them, especially in the postseason, man.
And this is my point. I want to see what he does. He needs to be in the lineup every day for me.
Yes.
He has that type of potential where this young player, if he's going to take that next step, he's going to have to figure out how to hit lefties. And I think he has the ability, but he's got to be in the lineup against them.
Agreed. It's very similar to Oswaldo Cabrera with the Yankees. Like, once you have consistent
they take him out versus lefties because they have better players, which
but we mentioned 994
something interesting to say.
Yeah.
The Tigers fans, they were calling him Kerry Bonds Carpenter in the postseason after that home run against Class A. I think they're still playing that in their head, but I agree with you. I think he needs consistent.
Nah, that's a crazy name. I ain't gonna lie.
Riley Green took a step forward last season. He set career highs with 24 homers.
They don't have Tommy Candy or Torres on this list. Fun fact. Or Colt Keith on this team either.
I mean, this is why the Tigers.
I thought Glaber had a really good season last year.
On what their chances in 2025 and beyond, because Riley Green is part of that foundation that has had some success at the big league level already.
Yeah, I would go to say Riley Green is one of the more underrated players in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Given his stat line last year, 24 home runs, 827 OPS. And that would be impressive for anyone. And then you take into consideration he's 23 years old.
Yeah.
I'm also excited to see how Riley Green performs with a little bit more protection in the lineup. Gleyber Torres, Parker Meadows, as we've mentioned, Kerry Carpenter. So I think Riley Green's going to have another great year.
Yeah, and Big Old Buck in the chat mentions they need to get Spencer Torkelson going, and that's a very, very good point.
Yeah.
They really need to get him going consistent, because if he's able to produce consistently, that really, really amplifies that lineup. All right, let's continue this American League Central theme. The Minnesota Twins. They've been a tough team to figure out.
Lost.
I mean, they've had to
this team is
struggle
lost,
with
chat.
injuries in some of their
Lost.
key core players, and that's part of the problem. But Byron Buxton, Carlos Correa,
I don't know what this front office is doing. No idea what these guys are doing.
87. Royce Lewis,
be honest. Team's actually good. The team's good. The front office pisses me off. Last two guys are 83, by the way. The front office of this team just pisses me off.
Lopez is at 84, and then the other two at 83. This team struggles with injuries, and the bad thing is it's their key core players. Last year it was Correa. Buxton has also struggled with injuries.
Royce Lewis early on.
The same. But when those three guys are healthy and right, I mean, this team can be dangerous.
Yes. I mean, we're doing the same song and dance specifically with Royce Lewis every single year. A top prospect. We want to see him.
So are these the live series ratings? No. Offline ratings is franchise, road to the show, March to October, custom leagues, home run derby, all the other side modes. These are not Diamond Dynasty ratings. That's why they keep saying offline, because Diamond Dynasty, you have to be online. That's why.
Gotta stay healthy, gotta stay in the field.
And Carlos Correa, last year, an average of 3.
Diamond Dynasty ratings are probably a little bit worse than these, because I think Trout was a 90. And he'll probably be, what, like a 95 in this, I would guess. So I had Tatis at a 90-something in this. He was an 88 in Diamond Dynasty. Same with Acuna, he was like 97, I think, or 96, and he was an 80-something. So, no, they're going to be worse than this.
Just mind you, this guy's trying to play shortstop. He needs to clearly be healthy for them.
So, yes, these are not live. These are not Diamond Dynasty ratings. These are for all the other game modes.
The deal that he signed with them years ago. But if he was on, if he played all
that's what offline means, all right?
162 games last year, he was on pace to
hopefully that makes sense.
Home runs.
But Angel also got you in the chat. Hey, you shot Angel.
Any day of the week. When he's
so if you play franchise or road to the show, then these are the ratings that you'll have, pretty much.
Hoping for good health this season, and so
but Diamond Dynasty is obviously a little bit different, so
he's one of the most dynamic.
Hopefully that clears it up for you, Jacob.
I could watch him.
Yeah, this Twins, man. This front office. Oh my God. Yeah, let's make 0 moves and let's make the postseason. That sounds like a good idea, right, guys?
The speed is 95. And again,
I know they want to sell the team, but like, dude, the GM has got it figured out. I mean, when you're not making trades, come on now. We're not trying to get better. What are we doing?
He's so much fun to watch. The only bright side about him
I don't know.
last year was the most amount of games he has played since 2017. So we got to hope that we're on a trajectory. Stay consistent. Him, Royce Lewis, Carlos
I don't know, it just doesn't. I don't feel good about this team. Everyone has them in the postseason for some reason, which I don't get.
On these 3 players, and just give us a sense of their. When you talk about these 3, Buxton, Correa, and Lewis, what impact did their durability, or unfortunately lack thereof, how did that impact their offline ratings?
Yeah, it definitely plays an impact. I believe all 3 of them, their durabilities are below 90 at least. So it does take a factor in their overall, might knock them down a point, maybe a couple points, depending on how low it is. And you mentioned it, all 3 of them, incredible baseball players. We're huge Byron Buxton fans here, and it feels like we get robbed each year when he gets injured and we don't get to see what he can truly do, because he can do all facets of baseball at the highest level possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to talk real quick, Diamond Dynasty, I'm sure I was one of many players that had that cornerstone Byron Buxton in my lineup for a good duration of MLB The Show 24. But obviously, we're here to talk about
was actually goated, Chad.
Let's continue the American League Central, and let's talk about the Chicago White Sox.
Oh!
Luis Robert Jr. is at the top. He's at 77. Penn Murphy, Mike Tauchman comes over.
Reds, please. I know, they skipped Daniel Central for some reason.
Bryce Wilson, Michael A. Taylor, and Mike Clevenger.
Everyone is at 73, goddamn.
Matching 73.
They put Tauchman actually pretty high.
This is the Chicago White Sox team that has torn it down to the studs. They are clearly in rebuild mode. Yes. But Luis Robert Jr., if you think about a player that could have an impact at the trade deadline or maybe even in a postseason race, this guy, when healthy, could make a difference for a team.
Yeah, and again, he's coming off a down year, but in that type of environment, I don't really know how you can perform to the best of your ability. He's tied for the lead among current center fielders with 52 home runs the last 2 seasons. So again, as you've mentioned, he's looking for a bounce back. He's mentioned it to the media, and I think it probably gives him some incentive to perform a really good first half of the season and hopefully get dealt at the trade deadline.
Yeah, look, make no mistake
about
this
thing.
It's
I
just
not working.
Did very well.
It's actually annoying.
Yikes,
I said that they wouldn't have a...
So right now, they're just all about acquiring.
Not wrong, they even got 80. That's tough.
Mike Tauchman, 360 on base.
I don't think the Nationals did either.
Chicago Cubs, so he goes from the north side to the south side.
I like Tauchman.
That's what you want at 94. His reaction is at 71, all part of an offline rating of 73. And look, again, these are guys that, when you're talking about Robert and Tauchman, maybe they end the season with the White Sox, maybe they don't, but maybe they have an impact somewhere else. So, Mike Tauchman, he could be an interesting player for someone, an interesting deadline
Another bat in the lineup. I could see it.
Yeah. All right. So that's All right, let's take a little
White Sox
closer
fans want
look
to die
at
right
some
now.
attributes here. 100-mile-per-hour pitches here. These are pitchers that have joined the triple-digit club.
Okay.
Ben Joyce is the highest.
At the top of this list at 102.1. Mason Miller, this seems low to me because this dude just throws flat out octane. Johan Duran.
This is probably
also
average,
is at
if I had
just
to
above
guess.
100 miles per hour. You got Abner Uribe and Paul Skeens. We haven't talked about the Pittsburgh Pirates yet. We will, but let's bring back in Rory. Where do you want to go, Rory, on these pitchers, part of the 100-mile-per-hour club?
Yeah, so I think a big thing to hit on with them, they all have outlier. And
Or that skin is 8 pitch. Yeah, I heard he's got like so many pitches now. I ain't gonna lie. He's only gonna have 5 in the game. I'm pretty sure. 'Cause that's the max you can have.
Or their second pitch,
Because there ain't that many buttons on the controller. You know what I mean?
To be broken, basically. So usually attributes capped. You throw 100 miles an hour, our velocity only goes up to that. This outlier quirk allows you to throw 102 consistently. So when we're looking down this board, you'll see Ben Joyce. He's going to have double outlier on his four-seam fastball
Double?
and his sinker.
Oh, yeah.
Duran, he's going to have outlier on his four-seam fastball and his splitter. We have it listed splitter. It's a little bit of like a splinker he throws in real life. So double outlier for him. And all these other guys, you're going to see outlier on their four-seams and sinkers if they throw that.
Hey, real quick, Roy. Paul Skeens, I don't think his splinker was in the game last year, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. And if so, what are you guys doing with the splinker this year?
Yeah, so with that one, it's tough because we don't have a pitch that really can.
I mean, D-pad is an option, but there's other buttons for the D-pad, though. That's the problem.
So we have to choose which one we go with, and the way it tends to get tracked with pitch tracking metrics is
You can only
sinker. So we
do the 4 buttons on this side.
All right, so those guys are part
because
of
the
a select
D-pad.
group. Let's take a look at another
The D-pad's down here.
players
This has
that are also part of a
the other
select
stuff.
group. This is
Speed.
players with at least 90+ speed and 90+ steal, and it starts at the top with everybody saying L. Lee Dela
Yeah,
Cruz.
like this is like the timeout, quick pitch, or quick whatever, bullpen, quick menu. You can only really use these 4, and then I guess the back buttons you can use, but that's really it.
Rory, where do you want to go with this group here? I mean, talk
Unless
to me
you hit a
little
button
bit
for
about,
another pitching
Ellie
menu,
Dela
I don't really
Cruz
know.
and obviously one of
It
the
probably is only gonna have 5.
3 members on the cover for MLB The Show 25.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit it 2 times.
We
real
love
quick.
Ellie De La Cruz here. Over 60 stolen bases last year. Has sprint speed at the elite level, 30 feet per
2 times.
second.
Catch right back
so
up.
when you're playing the game, you get him on base, you should steal second. Kind of similar to what he does in real life. He gets on base, he immediately is running. And when you do steal with him in MLB The Show, he's going to be successful more often than not.
Getting a little bit of pushback, Rory, about no Pete Crow Armstrong. Where's PC
Yeah.
on this list?
Facts.
Pete Crow,
That's my boy at.
Okay.
I think where he might not quite be at the 90 is on the stolen base level. His speed is definitely up there with
Let's go.
the highest
Maybe not
in
his
the
steal.
game. But as he steals more bases this year especially, we're going to be boosting that. So we're going to be keeping a close eye on him, but he does have a high speed rating, just not quite at that 90+ range right now.
Also wearing a new number, rocking the number 4.
He's wearing a new
this year
number.
for the Chicago Cubs. All right, let's take another category. And this category, you glove
90
to see
feel,
it.
90
Oh, I see
arm.
what you did there. Hey, guys.
Brennan
Chad,
Doyle.
PCA is on this list.
Oh, yeah.
Players with at least 90+
Okay,
feel
Doyle, I see you.
and 90+ arm. Look at Jose Siri talking about New York teams. Jose Siri now, of course, with the New York Mets.
Yeah, no, it's super exciting. I mean, PCA stands out to me. If anyone just wants to Google PCA highlights, you'll probably see the most freakish defensive plays in center
he's a really
field
good defensive
No,
player.
I think it speaks to his ability, and it's a rare ability that he has to impact the game just with his glove alone. I think there was a game at Dodger Stadium, I think, last year. Just a couple of insane catches. But Rory, real quick, what do you want to dive in here with this list that, once again, Ellie De La Cruz is part of, and PCA is also part of?
Facts.
Yeah, all players on this list, incredible fielders. We're looking at guys who are in the highest percentile and outs above average. That's what we tend to be looking at when we're talking about a fielding rating for a player. So all of these players, they're, 90th percentile plus. And then with arm strength, we're looking, how hard do they throw the baseball? And at the top, one of my favorites, Brenton Doyle, my verse CPU Rockies on rookie players. We all know Brenton Doyle. He's going to rob home runs. He's going to throw you out when you try to take an extra base. Just all around great defenders there.
Hey, real quick, Rory, in an upset, the chat has a good point. Ellie De La Cruz led the league in errors or was near the top, so how did that factor or not factor into his rating?
W from the chat.
I'm really glad you asked that. It's kind of a misconception with errors. Obviously, errors aren't great. No one wants to be making errors. But when we're talking about how good a guy is defensively, someone who plays every day is going to make more errors in the long run than someone who doesn't play as much. So Ellie played almost every game last year, so obviously he's going to make more errors. And when we look at his arm accuracy, his throwing errors, it's where it tends to come up. So he makes a lot of great plays and has range about as good as anybody at shortstop, but he does make throwing errors. So you
Plus, if it's a tough player, kind of bound to make an error. You know what I mean?
Just to account
Which makes
for that.
sense.
But he still is one of the top defenders at shortstop in baseball.
Yeah, the accuracy there is 52 for Ellie De La Cruz. Stand by, Rory.
All new in Road to the Show.
Okay.
Earn tokens and strategically
We just,
invest in your path to 99 progression. Pave your path from high school to the majors.
We talked about everyone,
Road to the
actually.
show, the amateur years.
Right, we just need what? The AL West and NL Central, right?
QuickTime events. Test your reflexes.
You got 10 teams left, Chad?
Sprint into directional analog
That's
base
pretty good. We're about almost 2 hours in.
Experience baseball like you've never played before.
Got 10 more teams. Third of the league left.
25.
Not bad.
A lot to like in this year's version of Road to the Show and MLB The Show 25. Justin Rowe is a designer for MLB The Show 25, and he joins us now. Justin, it's good to see you again. As we can see, there's some tweaks. There's a new path to the big leagues in Road to the Show. What should our players know about what they're going to be experiencing this year in Road to the Show?
Yeah, I mean, we're super excited for what we accomplished this year. Starting off with that high school experience, right? It adds a whole new layer that we've never had. And we want to show like how hard it is for that grind from when you're 17, 18 years old all the way up to your big league debut. But starting off in high school, you're going to have a chance to prove to college scouts, MLB scouts along the way, and then have that decision, right? Like, do you go to college and get some of the pros and cons of going there, or do you head straight to the MLB and start your MLB journey? The whole point of this was to like make it feel as authentic.
No,
and
facts.
real
Roller
as
show's gonna be
possible,
fun, bro.
right? So
I can't wait to play.
Every MLB player goes through that experience, right?
I'll definitely
of
stream the first
being
part
a
of it.
kid, playing, going to college, or having that decision to go to the draft.
I'll definitely stream. Damn, you in the
accomplish
tree.
that this year.
Definitely stream the first, like all the new stuff. As soon as we get to the minors, though, I mean, like it's gonna be probably the same, to be honest. So
and then head to the draft.
I would just love for them to expand it more.
Skip college. And
You know what I mean?
MLB, or if
High
you're
school, combine, college. Like I wish they'd expand the college. Obviously, they don't have the rights to all the teams, so it'd be kind of hard. But
Hey, tell us more
I think it'd be cool.
about the path to 99 progression and Road to the Show.
Like imagine you play like at least like 10 games of high school.
Over what their player
Like that'd be fun.
ultimately becomes.
But that is a lot for casual people. I do know
was
that.
another big focus for us this year. In years past, that path has kind of been like on rails or a little bit.
Imagine playing like a state
We
championship. You
wanted
play
to
like 6
return
games
the
in a row or
control
something.
to the players, right? So from any type of play style that you want to do, you're going to
You
be
just
able to
play
do
the
it and get
whole
to that path of 99
bracket of the College World Series. That'd be
Across
cool, man.
the board, every decision matters, right? So as you're trying to get
'Cause
to
you
where
play,
wanna
like,
be, training,
2 games to
drills,
qual.
obviously your on-field
Then it's a
performance,
3-game series,
some
and then you're
off the
back
field,
into a group stage. 2
decisions are
games to
gonna matter for
qual.
this.
So you're at least 7 games in college, and then
element of the college programs
the
that are involved in Road
College
to the
World
Show,
Series,
I
a
think
3-game
I
series.
think
So
players are really going to love all these new features and some of the changes in Road to
I'm
the
excited
Show.
to play.
We appreciate the time, Justin. Good luck with the launch, okay?
Thanks. Have a good one.
That's Justin Rowe. He's a designer for MLB The Show 25.
sick.
Let's take a look at
Hey,
the Cubs. Their highest
how are my
rated
boys?
The recently acquired Kyle Tucker.
King
They
Tuck.
have 3 players who check in at number 86 on their ratings.
And they
Seiya
put
Suzuki,
Swanson at
Justin
86?
Steele,
Damn.
Dansby Swanson, and then their opening day.
Shota's at
starter,
85,
Shota
guys.
Imanaga is ranked at 85. Let's bring in Dexter Fowler. He spent 14 seasons in the Major 2 with the Chicago Cubs, helping them.
Job Dexter, and they went to the Cardinals.
In 2016. And Dexter, this is MLB The Show's 20th anniversary, and I know you've been a few years removed from playing in the show, but even past your playing days, I know people really enjoyed using your card in a variety of formats there in MLB The Show.
Absolutely, you hear that all the time. People are like, "Oh, I loved when you played you. You made me so much money. I bet against my friends." And so there's no betting in baseball. That's what I tell them.
That's right. And you know what? There's no betting in video games, kids. Remember that. It's all for entertainment purposes only. Hey, let's talk about these top 5
Interesting he has to say that.
players according to the rankings for the Chicago Cubs. Kyle Tucker is at the top. What are your expectations for K-Tuck?
Wow, he's going to be so good in Chicago.
I think Kyle Tucker just needs to be Kyle Tucker. I mean, the guy.
Oh, it is a pitcher-friendly park, though, so
in
it
his
really
own
knows.
right.
With the wind, at least.
Hearing from the World Baseball Classic crew, like he was the anchor of the team. He kept it light.
That's what I'm saying.
And I think that's what the Cubs need. They
Shout
just
World
need to
Baseball
go out
Classic.
there and be able to lean on this vet and really rely on his body of work.
Gotta get the extension.
When you look at the other pieces of the outfield around Kyle Tucker, what jumps out at you? How do you think the rest of the outfield is going to shake out?
I think it's gonna. I actually think it's gonna help. You know, you got guys like Pete Crow that are out there, and you know, just to be able to lean on him and his expertise is gonna help him even be a better outfielder. And this guy's already elite.
Yeah, PCA, Pete Crow
Got
Armstrong.
any hap out there?
It's rare, Dexter, right, that a player can have an impact with his glove the way he does. When you see him play defensively, what comes to mind?
You know what? He reminds me of how I used to go get it in Colorado. You know, the dude.
I say it probably reminds
he's
him of
elite
himself.
out there, and it's fun to watch. And you know what? You could see in the way he carries himself and his confidence. When he gets out in that outfield, it's like there's no ball in this park that I can't go get.
What do you want to see from Dansby Swanson as he enters year 3 in Chicago?
Hitting.
I want to see Dansby be Dansby. I want him I want to see him going.
Gotta get better in hitting, bro.
Just you know, being in those
struggles.
big situations, being Dansby, and he relishes in those situations. And you know, obviously you're gonna have your ups and downs, but Dansby's a leader out there, and they rely on him as well.
Shota Imanaga is the opening day starter. He had a rating of 85, according to MLB The Show.
I don't love that.
You know, you think it's a little too low?
I think it's too low. I think Shota is. I mean, this is his second year, and
I think last year he did really well.
A big one. I think he's going to be in the Cy Young talks as he was last year. But I think 85 is low.
All right. Well, when you look at Imanaga and the rest of the Cubs rotation, what do you think?
It's okay.
It's going to rely on Imanaga and Justin Steele.
Yeah,
Justin Steele
it's
cage,
okay.
You know, he needs to stay healthy. I think if their pitching staff stays healthy, they're going to be right up there in the NL Central leaders.
Well, Dexter, we appreciate your insight. Enjoy the
Thanks, you're not wrong.
season, man.
Not
and
wrong.
Talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
That's the former Chicago Cub, Dexter Fowler. All right, so take a look at once again, the Chicago Cubs, their ranking. Kyle Tucker acquired via trade. He's the top-rated Chicago Cub at 93. We got Seiya Suzuki and Justin Steele at 86, along with Dansby Swanson. And, Kate, there's already some pushback about Shota Imanaga being ranked at 85 in his offline ratings. First, before you answer, just to clear up any confusion, I see that some of you in the chat are saying that Dexter Fowler's living room is clean, and yes, that room was very clean, but he's also coming from the same room where we interviewed Jimmy Rollins and Nick Swisher.
People not realize
Are
it?
you guys under the impression
It's a
that they
studio.
all live together, like some sort of Full House, 3 men and a baby situation?
People not realize it's a
No,
studio?
they were at the MLBPA's house in Arizona. So just to clear
Yeah,
that up.
that's what I said.
They don't all live together. But Shota Imanaga, some people wondered, hey, maybe he's a little too low.
Yeah, I was curious about that as well. I also think Justin Steele is a little bit low. So maybe they're putting the Cubs pitchers a little bit low in general, but
okay.
I think with Shota,
Well, Steele had a
obviously, this
kind
year
of
we
breakout
expect
season
a lot
last
from
year,
him
though.
alongside Justin
So I don't really
Steele.
think so.
But 85, I mean, if we want to bring in Rory and ask him.
It still goes off the last
Yeah,
3
yeah,
years.
go ahead.
Yeah,
So
Rory, if you want to come in, and how was Shota's rating for 85?
Yeah, I guess with both of those players, both very similar archetypes as pitchers, which they pitch really well. They work good innings. ERA is always low.
Yep.
They do not walk players, which is huge for them. Where the overall rankings come in and things get a little bit thrown off, where like our perception of an ERA and what an overall could be gets thrown off, is what matters with limiting hits and striking batters out, where they both do well at both of those aspects,
Yeah.
but that's just where their overall gets brought down. But we will see this year, if they do pitch better, their overalls are going to get better with roster updates. So we're always looking for that and always looking to see them improve. So if they add on a few more strikeouts every extra start, you're going to see that overall maybe getting up to the 90s.
Cool.
Rory, who was another player, maybe it was Shota Imanaga as well, that you found it was the toughest rating decision here for the Chicago Cubs? Is there one or two players that come to mind?
That's a very good question. For me, Kyle Tucker at 93 overall, like even that feels a little bit low just based off what he did last year. 180 WRC plus in just 78 games. So the injury limited him. We would see what could have happened in a full season. But I'm a big Kyle Tucker fan.
Yeah.
So for me, I could see him being
That
in
guy's
the
got,
top
like-
10, maybe even top 5 hitter conversation. And he does everything super well too. Like he steals bases at a great rate while not tracking as one of the faster runners, which is super interesting to me. And then also plays a solid defense.
Yeah, he's like a sneaky guy that steals bases.
So, I mean, for him, I could see someday being a 99 overall. If he matches this year what he was doing last year when healthy, the sky's the limit.
Oh, absolutely. When you look at what Juan Soto got in the offseason, 765, Kyle Tucker, not as dominant of a hitter as Soto, but he's a better fielder. He's a better base runner. So I'm interested to see what his number looks like as
Actually,
he
a good
enters
point.
his walk year.
You're getting at 400
of free
mil.
agency. Another exciting team that is going to be worth watching, the Cincinnati Reds. Check
Here are
this
the
out.
Reds.
Got a little
Bagley.
from MLB The Show.
Where's Flame at?
Yes. What do you think it is? The game.
The game.
I don't know. Say MLB The Show. Ooh. Yeah, me la photo ahí. That's nice. I love Diamond Club. It's pretty nice. The base upbeat is heavy. Thank you, MLB The Show, for the present. I love it. Peace.
Joe Ellie.
Of course, Ellie Dela Cruz,
93.
Henderson, Paul Skeens, part of the tri-cover, our 3 cover.
Last guy is
athletes,
78
MLB
in
Show
Stephenson.
25. And let's take a
Talk about
look
underrated.
at the Cincinnati Reds. Ellie Dela Cruz is at the top, as you might expect. He's in at 93 for an offline rating. Hunter Green has an offline rating of 83. Nick Martinez, a versatile starter, can be used out of the bullpen if you so choose. He's at 80. Rhett Lauder and Tyler Stevenson is rounding out the list. Ellie Dela
So
Cruz
you actually
has
say
a
his name? I've been
chance
saying that
to
wrong
be
for like 2 years.
the
Stevenson.
face
I've been
of
saying
Major League
Stephenson.
Baseball. His skills, his tools are off the chart. And the thing that I love,
Ellie.
you take a look at his ratings here, the arm, 99, the speed, also 99, part of that 93 overall. I love his personality. I mean, you can tell that he loves the spotlight, and he takes responsibility for being one of those future stars of the game.
Yeah, it's difficult to find a more dynamic player in the sport right now other than Ellie De La Cruz. As we mentioned, his 30 feet per second sprint speed is off the charts. 67 stolen bases. The one downside, which I'm looking forward to seeing him improve upon this year, is his high strikeout rate. But I think if he gets that down, he could be someone that puts the ball in play because his speed is so fast he can beat out anything to the left side of the infield. So
yeah, I mean, he looks like a wing player for an NBA team. Benny SDS in the chat says Matt McClain revenge season.
Oh,
remember
okay.
they did not have Matt McClain.
Yeah.
Did the Cincinnati Reds? I think his return could be big. And also, you got Terry Francona as the manager. He did not come out of retirement if he did not think that this Cincinnati Reds team could win and win now.
yeah, absolutely. And then even I'm really excited to see Hunter Green again this year. I know he struggled a little bit when he started, but 2024.
Oh, this team should be good. They should be good, but they're not. Which makes no sense.
He took some big steps last year.
Big steps forward. We started to see what they initially drafted him for. From a swing and miss standpoint, there have been few guys in baseball as effective as Hunter Green. So he's going to be at the top of that rotation, and I'm excited about the
Reds are potentially postseason, but it's just so competitive in the NL.
Yeah, I mean, look, last year there were a couple of surprise teams.
It's hard to get past the Brewers, too.
The Cleveland Guardians and the Detroit Tigers. I don't think anyone picked the Guardians to win the division last year. I think the Cincinnati Reds and the National League Central have a chance to maybe make a run, which I think that division is wide open.
Yep.
So we're going to talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates
you're not wrong.
later, but let's bring back
I think anyone could win the Central.
For more on the
Except for the
Cincinnati
Pirates.
Reds.
Yeah, they got no shot.
Where do you want to go here? I mean, obviously.
Or the Cardinals. They didn't
LA
improve,
Cruz,
but who knows?
What direction do you want to go here, Rory?
I could talk about Ellie De La Cruz all day. There's nothing to hate about his game. Everything he does, he's incredible at: hitting, fielding, speed. The only aspect of him that would make him go up even more from a 93 overall to potentially 99 is just hitting from the right side against left-handed pitching. That's the only part of his game that could use some improvement. I do want to go talk about Rhett Lauder. Incredible 2024 for him, where started in high A, worked his way all the way up to the major leagues after getting drafted in 2023, and in his first 6 starts had a 1.17 ERA. So the sky seems to be a limit where he might even contend to be the #1 pitcher in that team by the end of this season, in my opinion.
Hey, and real quick, Rory, someone in the chat mentioned Matt McLain, a very, very quality player that the Reds did not have last season. He's not on that list, but potentially he could be among their best players when it's all said and done.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say last year, before season started, before he was out, he was in the top 5 overalls for the Reds. So this year, missing the whole season, his overalls dropped just a little bit as we're kind of getting him in line to improve this year and be able to show that, his rookie season wasn't a shot in the pan, but the real deal. So we're going to be looking very closely at him this year, and definitely going to be hitting him on roster updates to get that overall up as he performs really well again.
All right, Rory, we're going to come to you just shortly. A reminder, the drops are on, guys, but these packs are for MLB The Show 25, not MLB The Show 24. So when you get the game, you power it on. Hopefully, if your Twitch account is connected, those packs will be there waiting for you.
Excellent.
New in Diamond Dynasty for MLB The Show.
All right, more about the deep dive.
Your rewards overall rating will power creep as the season progresses.
Let's see what they talk about. Is that Soto's first time we saw his card?
Mode with a variety of gameplay challenges. Experience the return of Team Affinity, highlighting all 30 clubs in new ways. Introducing Weekend Classic, the new home for the most competitive games. Play all of this and more in MLB The Show 25.
See what they talk about Diamond Dynasty.
For more on Diamond Dynasty, let's say hello to Kayla Harris. She is the senior system game designer at PlayStation.
This is someone new, I think.
Studio, and she joins us now. Kayla,
I think we've seen her before.
We just heard in that little montage there. Diamond Dynasty. Give us some new features that people should know about upcoming in MLB The Show 25 Diamond Dynasty.
Thank you, Robert. So this year in Diamond Dynasty, we have 2 new feature modes, one being Weekend Classic and the other one being Diamond Quest.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you mentioned Diamond Quest. What should we know about that? We saw just a brief snippet of it there in the montage going into this, but what else should we know about Diamond Quest?
Well, Diamond Quest is a new repeatable single-player game mode where you use your Diamond Dynasty team. So this is not a draft mode. You use your Diamond Dynasty team, and you're going to take on moments, mini bosses, 3-inning games, and really you're going to explore this massive game board in order to earn the best top-tier rewards that are exclusive to Diamond Quest.
Hey,
so,
real quick, I want to circle back to the Weekend League. Tell us more about that. It sounds like a really intriguing feature that players are going to love.
So the Weekend Classic is a time-limited game mode. Basically, what players have to do, they have to play all during the ranked season and increase their rating. So if you play during the ranked seasons, you'll be able to start either from the Bronze League or to go all the way up to the Immortal Division. And the higher you get your rating throughout the ranked season, the better rewards you'll be able to obtain depending on what division that you are in. So definitely play during the ranked season, but if for some reason you can't play for the entire ranked season, don't worry about it. Everyone that logs on to play Diamond Dynasty does qualify for the weekend
That's
classic.
good.
So
That's good.
if you don't worry about it, if you can't log in for a few weeks and you want to still jump in and play for the best, most exclusive rewards to all of Diamond Dynasty, please jump into the weekend classic.
I love that. I think players are really, really going to enjoy this new feature. Kayla Harris, Senior System Game Designer at PlayStation's San Diego studio. Kayla, thanks for the time, and we appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Cardinals. Here we go.
Very cool.
Shout out Sonny Gray.
Hey, thanks, MLB The Show.
All right, Sonny Gray, part of the
90.
St. Louis Cardinals rotation. He is at the top of these offline ratings. Once again, guys, this is offline ratings only. Sonny Gray is at 80. Is at 90, excuse me.
Arenado and Wynn are at 80, guys.
Who had a fantastic All-Star campaign.
He's also pretty
at the back end of
up there as well.
At 85.
Shout out to him.
Wilson Contreras at 84. Eric Fetty, Nolan Arenado, and Mason Wynn, both with 80 offline ratings. There was some question about whether Nolan Arenado was going to be a part of this St. Louis Cardinals team.
They've thought about trading him.
He is. The other, Wilson Contreras, goes from behind the plate to first base. What are you expecting from Wilson Contreras?
I mean, he's coming off such a strong offensive season. I'm really excited about him this year. So I mean, we're looking at right now, power versus left-hand pitcher 75, contact versus left-hand pitcher 80. I think his overall 84 may be a little bit low.
I don't know how he's going to do at first base. I think that's kind of like strange to even say that.
Yeah, Contreras of the St. Louis Cardinals, 7th in on-base percentage, 10th in OPS, among National League hitters in 2024. As for Sonny Gray, he had a strikeout percentage of, I think, just over 30%. That is the highest in Cardinals team history, but yet he felt he had just an okay season. And I think what he was referring to, gave up the long ball a little bit more than he would have liked. But look, the Cardinals need, once again, for him to be that horse at the top.
Oh, 100%. I think he's trying to get back to that Cy Young caliber self that we saw him during the 2023 season. He's got to figure out ways to control certain areas of his game. His pitch mix, his arsenal needs to be tweaked slightly. But as we mentioned, the strikeouts, I think he's going to have a good season at the top of the rotation.
Ryan Helsley at the back end, third among
he's good. He's good.
Array of 1.8.
Ryan Helsley's definitely a solid player. Got him on my Rockies franchise for a reason.
92, and his pitching clutch is at 99. That's why he was an all-star closer.
Yeah, seemingly untouchable slider, blistering fastball, throws in his curveball in there, led the league in saves during the 2024 season, all-star, all of the accolades. He's one of the hardest pitchers to touch when he comes out of the bullpen, and a huge reason for the success of the Cardinals in their bullpen.
Let's bring back in Rory McCann. Rory, someone in the chat says Brendan Donovan has been snubbed. I mean, that's kind of a hot take, I feel like. I don't know where he's ranked, but that maybe I fell for some trolling there. But let's start with Nolan Arenado. As I said, there was a real question of whether or not he was going to be back with this team.
Oh, Roflo.
What are your expectations for Arenado, and how did you guys rank this all-star third baseman?
Yeah, Arenado, it was really interesting to me over the offseason seeing the speculation, the rumors of him saying he would even move to first base, which was crazy to me because he has 87 fielding as a third baseman, 9 outs above average in 2024, his best in a couple years. So it kind of came as a shock to me that it would even be like suggested, hey, I'll go play first base when he ranks as one of the top third basemen defensively in the game. His bat has not been quite at the level that it was in his Rocky years and the early St. Louis years, but he still is above average. So I'm also buying, I still believe in that bat to come around, still produce, 120 OPS plus levels, maybe even higher, along with that glove. Like, I think 80 overall is underselling what he's able to do this year even.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. No one is going to outwork Nolan Arenado. So he refined some off-season training. He got into Muay Thai, and he thinks that that's going to help him at the plate and get back to his early power at the plate. So good stuff there. Hey, real quick, Rory, before we let you go, Mason Wynn. That's a name that has come up in the chat. Had a fantastic season last year for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, absolutely. He had 3 outs above average in 2024, so he's going to start at 75 fielding. But we know the scouting reports on him. They loved his fielding in the minors. Has a cannon of an arm, so he has really high arm strength, 99 arm strength to be exact. Also, 80 speed to start. He's really fast. Going to see that turn into stealing some bases. And the bat has honestly surprised me so far because of how well he's been able to hit at the major league level. I was expecting him to be more of a glove first shortstop, but it's seeming like he's going to be able to be both offensive threat, base stealing threat, and defensive threat. So similar to Arenado, I think 80 overall, it's nice for him to start at, but I'm expecting him to finish upper 80s by the end of this season at least.
All right, so we'll keep that in mind. Now let's talk about the reigning and defending division champions, the Milwaukee
Brewers.
William Contreras, one of the best.
A lot of guys at 80, goddamn. A lot of guys at 80.
Christian Yelich is at 87. Jackson Chourio and Freddie Peralta, their offline ratings with a matching 82. And then you have a trio of players who are at 80. Bryce Terang, Trevor McGill, and Brandon Woodruff is back. He missed all of last season with a shoulder injury, but he's scheduled to be back for the Milwaukee Brewers in 2025. William Contreras, you know, the Atlanta Braves, they suffered an injury at the catching position, and they used to have William Contreras.
Used to have him.
The Milwaukee Brewers
That's
are
tough.
certainly glad that he's part of their ball club right now.
100%. They wanted a star to go alongside Christian Yelich, and that is exactly what they got. He slashed 285, 366, 462, and leads all catchers in F4 with 11.2. This is the top catcher in baseball right now. 89. Part of me is like, he should have a 90. What's that 1 point to make a difference when you're among the best? But I'm excited to see him this year.
Yeah, he leads all catchers with an on-base percentage of 363.
There he is.
OPS of 835 over the last 3 years. And you take a look at this photo here of William proudly displaying. He's now a member of the Diamond Club. Christian Yelich, he has struggled with injuries. By all accounts, he had the offseason back surgery or had surgery on his back during the course of 2024. He is back. If he's able to return to all-star form, that's a huge difference for the Brewers.
Huge difference. And you see they won the division without Christian Yelich.
They won it by 10 games, by the way.
It wasn't even close.
It's crazy.
So with the addition of Christian Yelich, I'm a little bit nervous because I think backs are a bit tricky. But if he can even get like a fraction of that 2019 Yelich that everybody knows, everybody loves, everybody knows he's capable of, we're hoping for that with Cody Bellinger too, please, with the Yankees. So I'm hoping he can get back to that form.
Yeah, Ethan in the chat asking, bro, where are the Orioles? Ethan, that was in hour number 1. You can catch a replay of this stream on MLB Network or just rewind in the chat, whichever. But we talked about the Orioles. Let's bring Rory back in here. Rory,
we're almost
we
done.
Talked about
6 teams left.
Yelich, and
the Pirates and then the AL West.
How difficult has his rating been because of all the injuries? How does that factor in?
It definitely factors in. We know how great he is just from his early years with the Brewers, where MVP caliber numbers back-to-back seasons, won the MVP even one of the years. So we know that the pedigree is already there, the hitting ability's there. So we are weighting him and rating him in a way where we're going to give a lot of value to his hitting. We believe in him fully. The power numbers, maybe it won't be at the same level of hitting 30-plus homers each season the way that he did in those MVP caliber years, but he's still good for at least 20 home runs. So we just rate him in terms of what he's been able to do when he's playing and still performs at a very high rate.
Jackson Chourio, an 82 overall. What impacted his ratings?
Yeah, with him, all-around very solid player. It took a little bit for him to get his feet under him last year.
95
but when
speed,
we're looking
goddamn.
at, the back half of the year,
Goddamn,
especially once he started to get his feet under him, feeling good, the offensive numbers were great. His defense is very good, leading to him having 83 fielding, 95 speed. The only place where I marked could go up is his home runs versus left-handed pitching. He only hit 3 of them last year. I imagine that's going to change this year. He's going to hit more homers versus lefties, going to keep doing it versus righties. And by the end of the season, if he's not a 90 overall, I will be a bit surprised because the sky's the limit for him for sure.
Yeah, Roy, I cannot wait to see what this young player does in year 2 of his big league career.
Absolutely, yeah.
Your MLB The Show rating,
Yo,
top 5
Pittsburgh
players
Pirates.
for the Pittsburgh
How much it
Pirates.
falls
No
off?
surprise, it's Paul Skeens, rated as a 93. O'Neal Cruz, 83. Brian Reynolds, the versatile
Cruz has
outfielder,
fallen
is at
off, bro. It's
82.
kind of sad.
Jared Jones checks in at 80, and Mitch Keller,
Wow.
his fellow rotation mate, is also on this
79.
list at 79. Jason Kendall spent 15 seasons in the big leagues, a lot of time there with the Pittsburgh Pirates, and he joins us now. You know, Jason, it's interesting. Your career certainly spanned a great deal of time in the show, but it almost gets a new life thanks to this game, MLB The Show.
Thanks.
Your career is getting exposed to a whole new generation because your card is one of the more popular cards to use throughout the game.
You know what's funny, Flo, is that's what I was told by my kids. They said that I was pretty good in the game, but it's so cool because my kids can see that. They can play it coming up, and the younger generation, it's great for those guys. I mean, I grew up in the game just loving baseball. My dad played in the big league, so I knew everybody from the time he played, the time I was old enough to remember. So it's good for the the younger generation now to look back and see some players and then go back and look at their stats and see what they did. It's actually pretty cool.
Actually is. I
agree
urge
with
people
that.
to check out all the virtual players that are former big leaguers and the former Negro leaguers, and just to check out who they are and what their resumes are
I would agree with that.
online. Hey, let me ask you about Paul Skeens, Jason. How soon is how soon is too soon for Skeens to be named the best pitcher in Major League Baseball?
I don't think it's too soon at all. I think he is. Even with the,
He's got to win like a Cy Young.
Obviously,
You know what I mean?
year, but
I've just got to play a
he
full
is that
season
good.
though,
No,
so
he has to be there. And
yeah, I
and
think he
stick
could win
around
the Cy Young for sure.
The longevity thing. But right now, if I was to start a starting pitcher in a big game, it would be him. I think he's that legit.
As someone that spent a lot of
I don't
time
think he's the
behind
best pitcher
dish,
in the
what
league
is
though.
that one or two
I still think Screwball is
last
better.
things that a young
My
pitcher
opinion.
with amazing talent has
I like
to
Screwball a
learn
lot.
at the big league
Plus, he
level?
goes longer in games.
I think what people forget is
So,
he does
Screwball
have
for me.
that electric stuff. But you're also throwing to hitters that have eye-hand coordination. Like I guess the best way I've always explained it was like fighter jets. Their eye-hand coordination is that good. And if you see a same pitch a couple times, they're going to get it. So I think just kind of mixing and matching and going over scouting reports, seeing obviously more so, I guess, in the Central, the guys that he faces, several times a year, what they did in certain counts, because those guys, listen, they're smart and they're good, and they'll start looking for pitches. So if you got somebody out on a 2-1 pitch a month ago, and then you play them, in their ballpark, and they're going to be sitting on that 2-1 pitch. So it's now a learning phase for him, and hopefully the catchers over there will do that. But the learning phase is making those adjustments as
not
the
being
hitters
predictable.
are. And
Yeah.
once that happens, then he's going to be
Makes sense.
just fine because his stuff is dominating. I mean, he's dominant. He's as dominant as they get, as I've seen in the big leagues.
What are your expectations for Jared Jones, also in that Pirates rotation?
I think he's going to have, I don't want to say a bounce back year because I don't necessarily think he had a disappointing year. I mean, I would expect him to bounce.
Can I go take a leak?
Wins
Be
and
right back.
losses, that's probably the disappointing part of it, what I'm assuming he is thinking. But I bet he's going to. The thing that Skeens brings to this rotation is it's competition. I mean, you got your 5 starters, but it's competition. Everybody wants to outdo everybody else, whether they say that or they don't. That's just the game of baseball. But I think it's going to be people pushing people, and I would be surprised if the Pirates are not in a pennant race come September.
What do you think of Joey Bart behind the plate? Can he be the answer for the Pirates?
I think he can. I think I don't know. It depends on if they have that
You just said the
special
Pirates
person
in a
to
pennant race?
go as far as a backup. I
Hear
know
that
they have,
right?
2 young kids over there that are going to be
Did I hear that
right
right?
there with him. It depends on if they want him to be there every day. How many
Chad,
games
that
are
is
they gonna
not
catch? Is he gonna
happening.
get
I'm
5,
sorry. That is not happening.
Is he going to platoon with Henry Davis?
They don't have the hitting power.
Or Indy? I don't know. They got some decisions to make, but
Or the pitch. Pitching okay, but
the fact that he's an
I
older
don't see
player,
them in the pennant race.
You know, the things that I was talking about.
Nationally is so competitive with the Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Padres.
Because he has been there.
Three teams in the East, right? I mean,
to another level and help him out.
and the team in the Central that's going to win it. Like,
I believe what everybody thinks he's going to be, which is one of the best pitchers in the last
Cubs, Brewers, 3 teams in the East, 3 teams in the West. No way they break through.
Fans in Pittsburgh. I'd love to see the Pirates
Be honest.
deep in a
them.
race in a playoff chase, so that'd be a lot of fun. Jason, thanks for spending a little time with
Be
us.
cool if they
Thanks
made a
for the
run.
insight.
Roflo, take care.
We got 5 teams left. AL West.
All right, as you take a look here, once again, the top ratings for the Pittsburgh Pirates, once again, offline ratings. Paul Skeens is at 93, O'Neill Cruz 83, Brian Reynolds 82, Jared Jones 80, and Mitch Keller at 79. This team has a rotation that can make a deep run. The question is, do they have enough offense? O'Neill Cruz, if he can take a couple of steps offensively as he transitions from shortstop to center field, that could be a huge difference.
Yeah, he's so young, and we have so much hope and promise for him, but he's one of those similar players where he has speed, obviously he's consistent, and we're just looking for that power, I think, aspect from him. And defensively, hopefully the move to center field, he'll be a little bit better there.
He ranked 3rd in average
Hopefully we'll see that.
last year at just under 96 miles per hour in 2024. Let's bring Rory back in. Rory, we've had some people in the chat mention that they think O'Neill Cruz, excuse me, a little too low at 83. You say what?
I don't know. I guess I might not say too low at 83. I can see where they're coming from, though. And a lot of what we look at O'Neill Cruz, once he moved to center field, his fielding did seem to improve. He was worth 2 outs above average. It was only 195 innings, so we've got him starting at a 72 fielding rating. One thing that we did look at is his outfield jump metric, which was really good in those innings. So he's going to start with 91 reaction. So defensively,
What are these stats? I have no idea what they are.
The only thing that we're now
I think I'm learning every time I'm on here.
Is going to be hitting
outfield
home runs.
Jump.
So
it's new.
Everybody thinks power is exit velocity, and in general, in real life, yes, that holds up. But when we're talking about MLB The Show ratings, our power ratings are coming from how many home runs you hit. So he can have 120 exit velocity base hits. It won't impact his power rating.
I'm getting so many tweet notifications from that.
More home runs, you know,
MLB The Show. It's actually kind of funny.
We're going to see him hit maybe 30 home runs. If he cuts down on strikeouts, really solidifies his bat this year, maybe even 40 home runs, and then you'll see him at that 90 overall, maybe even higher by the end of the year.
Well, as I said to Jason Kendall, I would love to see the Pittsburgh Pirates make a run. It's a great ballpark, a lot of great fans, and some young talent there in Pittsburgh. All right, Rory, stand by. We got more. Now we go to America's team. The Houston Astros. That's right, Kate.
Oh,
yeah. Love me some Astros.
Oh, yeah, you know.
Yordan Alvarez is at the top at 92. Christian Walker, who signs via free agency, is second, along with Jose Altuve at 88.
85,
Diaz,
to round it
one of the
out.
promising young catchers in the league, is at 85, along with Framber Valdez. For the first time in almost a decade, Kate, the Astros have faced the most uncertainty.
Yeah, I don't know where they're going to go this year.
There's a lot. They've been able to withstand the losses of Garrett Cole, George Springer, Carlos Correa, but now you add Alex Bregman and Kyle Tucker to that list of players no longer there. What are your expectations for the Astros in 25?
Yeah, I mean, they made a decent amount of additions to that team. Like, I think Christian Walker is still one of the more underrated players in Major League Baseball. I know he's dealing with some injuries right now in spring training. Hopefully it's just a precautionary issue, but he's a veteran third baseman. He's a perennial Gold Glover. He is a great two-way player as he has world-class defense and pairs that with power offensively. So I'm excited about Christian Walker for the Houston Astros. And listen, it doesn't matter how many people you lost. You still have Yordan Alvarez. You still have the best DH in all of Major League Baseball outside Shohei Ohtani.
No, you bring up a good point. It looks like Jose Altuve is going to be transitioning from second base to left field.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Christian Walker should help shore up a first base position that has lacked production really since Yuli Gurriel left at the end of the 2022 season.
Not wrong.
Framber Valdez enters his walk year. When Framber can be a little bit inconsistent, but when he's right, he's one of the best
very good, yes.
starting pitchers in the game.
Absolutely. And then you also add Diaz behind the plate. He put together a fantastic season. And the first time they really trusted somebody outside of Maldonado for the Houston Astros. So I'm excited. As you can see, contact versus right-hand pitching, 86, 93 for his arm. He hit nearly 300 with a K rate under 20% while playing above average defense. So are they missing the Correa, the Altuve, the Kyle Tucker, the Bregman, that core of that dynasty team?
Yeah, Altuve's the only one that's left. And Rory, as we bring you back in here, he's going to be playing a new position for a good chunk of 2025. How did his I'm wondering if his potential position change, did that impact his ratings? And if not, could it impact his ratings going forward?
Yeah, that's a very good question. It doesn't really impact his overall too much. I believe he's going to stay the same overall, moving to left field as primary position. There might be a little bit of wiggle room of like difference of how the overall will be calculated while in left field compared to second base. Like there's a few attributes that'll get weighted heavier at one position than another.
I was about to say that.
He might be a difference of one overall.
Like arm is going to be weighted more than it is at second base, you know what I mean?
On the time of year, what attributes get boosted. We're definitely going to be very interested to see how his fielding numbers perform in left field and, you know, make adjustments. If he turns out to be one of the top left fielders defensively, we're going to boost that in the roster updates, which we're going to be looking forward to do that.
Yeah, Jose Altuve, whether you like it or not, he's on the Hall of Fame highway. I'm just telling you, that's just the way it is.
I don't know, man.
That is something over the course of his career at second base, he's had a -82.
Because the writers, I don't know if they'd put him in. I really don't.
Trying to find a way to keep
after the 2017 thing, I don't know if they'd put him in.
Maybe put him in a spot that can help them also defensively.
To be honest.
And with that left field, they're going to play.
He said have a good career. It's just the 2017 thing just kind of stinks it up.
It's Daikin Park.
I say that
it's not the juice box. It's the ice box. Shout out to Omarion.
So good.
But that's a short left field. Yeah. Anything hit over his head, it's bouncing off the wall or it's into the Crawford boxes. But it's going to be fascinating to see how that all plays out.
Yeah, I mean, he's a pretty athletic player, but I think transitioning from
short to
left field, I'm surprised he was like, yeah, no, sure, give me the glove. I'll start taking reps out there. He did make a play the other day in spring training.
He did.
It was kind of weird. It's weird seeing him out there.
It is. It's going to take a while to get used to. All right, let's talk about another team in this American League West, former World Series champ, Texas Rangers.
Hey, there's Seager. Is he just in the middle of the outfield?
Thanks, MLB The Show.
It's in the middle of the outfield.
Not bad, not bad.
It's pretty sweet. My kids love this. You know, they play MLB The Show a lot. We still want to use Dad on the game, so you know this will be cool to put right there by the PlayStation shirt. So thank you.
That's
All
cool.
Right, so you had the second base
Grom's also up there.
Corey Seager and Marcus Semien get their gear as part of the
Dolis is 83, guys.
They are at the top of the list, along with Jacob deGrom, who missed most of last season. He's set to return. Hopefully he can stay healthy. Wyatt Langford is at an 84 for his offline rating, and Adolis Garcia is at 83. Corey Seager, one of 4 players with at least 30 homers, a WAR of at least 5 in each of the last 2 seasons. No moment is too big for Corey Seager. He's a big reason why the Rangers, I mean, by all accounts, they're probably the favorites going into this season, the American League West.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And if you think about Corey Seager living up to that contract, since being with the Texas Rangers, he's won a World Series, he's made 3 All-Star teams, and he's finished second in MVP voting.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was dealing with a little bit of injuries last season, but heading into this year, when he's healthy, when he's on the field, there's not a more dynamic player. I will never forget the 2023 World Series home run. He performs in the postseason. 2 World Series MVPs, postseason, regular season. You just got to stay a little bit healthy.
And for you Diamond Dynasty players, I'm sure you had that Corey Seager 2023 World Series MVP in your lineup for a good portion. Jacob deGrom, he has struggled with injuries. He is back.
Yeah.
And I mean, I believe his first taste of spring training, he was sitting at like 98, 99.
Yeah.
It's remarkable what this guy does. And more importantly, it looks so effortless.
Yes.
But yet he has struggled with injury. But if he's right, I mean, that's a game changer for the Rangers, needless to say.
100% a game changer for the Rangers, especially because we look at that Rangers lineup, and I would put them at among the best or top 5 lineup in the American League this year. And with Jacob deGrom, now we're entering, the later stages of his career. He's looking at a Hall of Fame trajectory, potentially if he can give us 3-ish more seasons of consistent time on the field. But I'm hoping for a decent amount of starts. Again, he looks to be in mid-season form in spring training, but those type of injuries, they're difficult to come by.
I mean, look, he has struggled with injuries, and you know that the Rangers are going to be very careful with him. He leads the majors with an ERA of 2.07 since the start of 2018. Rory, how did deGrom's injury history? He comes in at an 88 overall. There's some people that agree with that. Some think it's a little bit too high. Where are you in deGrom's rating?
It's tough with deGrom. It's really tough. I'll be honest.
Hasn't played a lot.
There isn't much innings to actually work off. Even the last 3 years, the injuries just keep piling up. And I mentioned it about Byron Buxton. It's the same thing with deGrom, where baseball fans kind of just feel robbed. Like we're not able to watch arguably maybe one of the best pitchers of all time because just hasn't been able to be healthy. If I had to say off my head, what overall should deGrom be? 99. We obviously can't give him 99 because he just hasn't been able to pitch, but we are putting him, in a spot where if he's able to pitch this season, he will be successful and we can boost his overall with roster updates. But it's a tricky spot to be in with him. Not really sure where we can put him just because there's not much to really go off of other than 4 or 5 years ago.
Real quick, Rory, Dantastic in the chat thinks that Wyatt Langford is too low. What was your reasoning for his rating?
Too low, I guess. I don't know. I think his rating's pretty good. I'd say, he's going to start with 96 fielding. He crushed left-handed pitching this last year. 7 of his home runs came versus lefties, so he's going to have 80 power. And when he was in the outfield, he prevented 3 fielding runs with his arm, which he's got 90 arm accuracy. If there's anything to improve for him, it'll just be against right-handed pitching. Like we saw him hit lefties super well last year. Right-handers struggled a little bit. So if he brings that up this year, his overall will be trending upwards to that upper 80 range, maybe even into the 90s.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think
the deGrom stats is kind of interesting.
Somewhere, I think that's fair for Wyatt Langford with a ton of upside for sure. Good stuff, Rory. Stand by.
Thank you.
Well, whether you're playing offline or online,
we're everywhere.
These guys are definitely
look at Judge's power. God
lineup.
damn,
These are players that have at least 90 power against righties and lefties. You see Anthony Santander and Pete Alonso. Their free agency were 2 of the big storylines this offseason. And for more on
Brent Rooker on the list as well.
25,
hey, Ramon.
Russell, friend of the program, director of product development and brand strategy, and he joined us now. Hey, Ramon, good to see you. I know you can't spill the whole beans on what's coming for storylines, but just give us a little teaser, a little taste on what we can expect for season 3 of storylines.
It's good to see you, Robert. Yeah, this is now season 3 of MLB The Show presents Storylines of Negro Leagues, and we have another amazing group of Negro League legends that is being headlined by James Poole Papa Bell, who is arguably the fastest person to ever play the game of baseball. And we'll announce the rest of the roster in the coming weeks.
Obviously, he's one of the legends, and I'm sure you want to keep under wraps the rest of the roster, but I think it's just such a universal hit, this relationship that the game and the Negro Leagues and the Negro League museums has had, because not only can you play with the virtual versions of these guys, but it gives you a sense of who they were, the history, and it introduces them to a whole new generation. It's just been a magnificent relationship thus far.
Yeah, thank you so much for those kind words. And it has been. It's been, a real match made in heaven between the partnership with Bob Kendrick and the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum and all the families of the players that we've worked with. This has been a labor of love, and all we've tried to do since day one is educate, enlighten, and inspire by celebrating the rich history of the Negro Leagues. And we can't wait for our fan base to learn about some new Negro League legends in Season 3 when the game comes out.
And Ramon, lastly,
I'm excited for it.
I know you've told me some pretty cool stories about younger generation of players as young as 9 and 10 years old that get introduced to the Negro Leagues in a really whole new way.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting is, the youth, they love to learn, but it's really important to mold a medium in which that you bring information to them because we have to meet them where they are.
Yep.
And we all love video games, so why not give them a little bit of baseball history in a really amazing
That's
baseball game?
I just don't think they're going to let Skeens. Yeah, I don't think they are either, Angel.
Ramon, can't wait to play the game, man.
Can't really.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Unless there's like a,
okay.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna have 5 pitches. I mean,
here are the top 5
they can't really do it.
The
The A's, my boys.
Athletics. Brent Rooker is at 90. Mason
Yeah, they did give him a
Miller
90.
is
Okay.
rated as an 88. Lawrence Butler, the dynamic young left-handed swinging outfielder, is at 81. Shea Langoliers, rounding out the top 5, is at 79. Jed Lowry spent parts of 5 seasons as a member of the Athletics, and he joins us now. And Jed, we're celebrating our 20th anniversary.
What's good, y'all? How you doing, bro? How you doing, Tuner? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream.
Fans would come up to you.
Yeah, we're about
and maybe just
to be done, which is kind of surprising.
As your virtual self, as your video game version of yourself, as opposed to your on-field
We
excellence.
got 2 teams left after this.
Yeah, no, it's I've definitely had that occasion, and I've had lately my son has gotten into it, and he was I heard him the other day talking with a buddy, and they were looking for me on the game, and I think it was a year, I think it was 24, so I was like, sorry guys, I'm not going to be on that one.
Yeah, well, you were definitely, it wasn't too long ago that you were in the game, and I know a lot of people use you in various formats of the game. Hey, what's your
He should be 89 in my opinion.
as they begin a new
I mean, I think
season
he's
and that
hyped
top
up.
5
He's
list
really
that we just
becoming like a
showed,
really good
headed up by
player.
Brent Rooker.
I mean, we're about to talk about him right
No,
now.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Brett obviously is a quality hitter that's going to provide a lot of power. Mason Miller, one of the most dynamic.
I like the Brent
relievers in
Rooker
the
90.
game.
I think it's deserved.
Lawrence
It's underrated,
Butler's
like
a
every other
kid that
player on
just
this
really
team.
Came on strong last year, has a ton of upside. Beto, great stuff. And then Langoliers, like I said, kind of that defensive, power-minded catcher. So
I like
that adds a lot of
I like the 90 on Rooker.
One of the players that they signed in the offseason was Luis Severino. He's now slotted in as their new ace. What's your expectations for Severino?
What was Jordan? I just joined.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of said it. Be the ace, right? Be
He was
the
high 80s, I'm
stabilizer
pretty
in
sure.
that
Let me check for
rotation.
you.
There's some younger guys. They've got a
He
little
was high
experience in the
80s.
rotation now, but I think
He literally like just it was just
to be
happened.
the ace, be that stabilizer.
Let me check for you. I got you.
That would be
I
my
got you, Tuner. Give me 1 sec.
for a guy like Luis Severino.
Brent Rooker is a bit of a late bloomer. He gets the long-term extension to stay with the Athletics. What are your expectations for him?
Jordan was a 92. Jordan was the top Astro.
Right?
92, Tuner.
He's
92 for the squad.
Driving the ball out of the ballpark, driving in runs.
That was his offline rating.
Threat, and so I think for me,
It was
it's
the
just
highest
being the
Astro,
same
and then
guy.
Altuve was next.
That's a lot easier said than done. But I don't think he needs to do more than what he's done in the past. Just be that same guy.
Mason Miller is such a great story. And
Where can
now
I
he is
see
turning
all of them?
into
Is
one
it
of
possible?
the most dominant, if not
They've just been
the
going over
most
top 5.
dominant
There
closers
hasn't really been
in
like a
baseball.
list they've shown yet of the top
Do you ever imagine
overalls.
yourself what it would be
Maybe they'll
like
do it at the end of the stream.
step
Is
into
kind of
the
what I'm
box
guessing
against
because
someone like Mason
we
Miller?
only have like 2 teams left after this. So
Yeah, I mean,
maybe they'll do that at the end of the stream. But I haven't seen anything yet, to be honest. I haven't seen anything. Austin Hayes wasn't even on here. He wasn't even on the list.
So yeah, I'm.
He wasn't on the list, Angel.
I'm sitting on this side of the camera now.
Unfortunately.
Jed, we'll get you out of here on this one. You mentioned
Oh, these are offline ratings? I thought they were... No. Yeah, offline. So, like, franchise, March, October, Road to the Show. Those are these ratings. The Diamond Dynasty ratings are going to be a little bit lower than these ones.
Yeah. I mean, he obviously put
So
together.
I think they had Trout as like a 90 overall. He's probably gonna be like a 95, right? Tatis was like the 88 in live series that we saw in the deep dive, and he was like a 90 something in this. So we're definitely gonna be a little bit lower. Yeah, then it's Show Angel, unfortunately.
Consistent result in that.
Yeah, these are all offline ratings, not the Diamond Dynasty ratings.
Jed Lowry, we appreciate you joining us. Thanks for the insight. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Thanks, man.
Will do. Thanks.
The former BR god, Jed Lowry, had the dual ear flap going in a lot of BR lineups. So once again, top players, offline ratings for the Athletics: Brent Rooker, Mason Miller, Lawrence Butler.
We going to Seattle or the Angels?
Rounding out this list, he is at 79. Brent Rooker, he has been consistently one of the best right-handed power hitters. He had 39 homers, had an OPS of 9.
Okay, now 90 is super solid for Rooker. So they have live series for. Oh, okay.
He was obviously.
Yeah. No.
A little bit.
I 100% agree he gets slept on. I think aside from the power, he hit 293 for average. So he was consistently on base. He was consistently putting the ball.
Yeah, no, he'll definitely be a little bit lower. I ain't gonna lie.
An extension with the A's, and he's going to be there for the next couple of years. And I think a lot of the guys are going to look to him as a veteran and a leader in that clubhouse. I know he's only 30. People are like, he's not old, but in comparison to a younger A's team, I think he's going to lead a lot of those younger players.
And part of that young core is Lawrence Butler. He certainly made a big step last season.
Yep. I mean, it was a weird season for Lawrence Butler because he was on the opening day roster. He started, then they sent him back down. But clearly that worked because those final month and a half of the season, he absolutely raked. He's a guy that, again, very similar to Ellie. He's very animated. He's chucking the bat on the ground. He's super excited and like happy to be on the field. So I'm excited for a full season of Lawrence Butler up at the big league level.
And once again, also in that top 3, Mason Miller led Major League Baseball with a strikeout
Miller's
rate of
godlike.
40, almost 42%. He's got an average fastball velo of 100.9 miles per hour. Also, he has an inspirational story. I urge you to read some more on Mason Miller and his road to becoming one of the dominant closers in all of Major League Baseball. Let's stay in the American League West, and let's talk about the Seattle Mariners. J-Rod is at the top.
Yeah, they give George Kirby pretty high.
George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, part of that fantastic young rotation for the Seattle Mariners. You can make the case that Cal Raleigh is the best catcher in baseball. You could make the case. Cal Raleigh, switch hitting catcher.
I can see that. For hitting, for sure.
Rounding out this list.
There's not many good hitting. I don't know. Will Smith is still better in my. I like him from the Dodgers, but
home runs since the start of 2021.
Yeah, he's
definitely
one
up
of the
there.
most consistent catchers, specifically offensively. He's always
he's definitely up
for
there.
a 30 home run season. Platinum Gold Glove. 2024, he had his first RBI season, so we're looking to match that this year. And a framing specialist, like when they were introducing the challenging balls and strike system, I was like, Cal Raleigh loves to steal strikes. Like that's part of his game. Obviously, offensively and defensively, he's a great tool player, but I think that's what impresses me a lot about him.
Now, I know you had a question for Rory, so take it away.
Yeah, Rory, 86 overall for Cal Raleigh. What went into deciding that factor?
Yeah, so
maybe
up to the opinions, I guess. We haven't rated great catcher. He was 98th percentile in pitch framing, so he's going to come in with 90 fielding rating. As mentioned, big home runs, so the power is both good on versus right, versus left. The only places that really do bring him down, not the fleetest of foot.
Speed, yeah.
And also the contact ratings kind of bring the overall down. Hasn't been much of a guy to hit for contact, getting just singles type of thing. And the vision, I guess, also brings him down. The strikeout rate, not extremely high, but still a bit above average, so that brings him down just a bit. All of those things are what bring his overall down, I guess, from being, upper 90s. But he still ranks as one of our top catchers just by overall in MLB The Show.
Yeah, Rory, good stuff. The fascinating thing about the Mariners is similar to the Pirates. They have a rotation that is built to win and potentially could make a deep run. What has held them back in the last couple of years is offensively. They just haven't been able consistently to put together an offense that matches that pitching staff, so to speak. How about J-Rod, one of 2 players with at least 20 home runs, 20 stolen bases, and more of at least 4 in each of the last 3 years. You see his ratings offline. Contact versus lefty, 80. His speed is 93. And look, when he's right, he's one of the great young players in the game. And the Mariners need for him to be that if they're going to make a run to the postseason.
Yeah, I mean, he has lightning bat speed. He has an impressive,
They add the animation into the game.
Control. And when
Where
you're
he hit the
watching
ball
him play
for a
in the
while.
outfield, he's like a walking highlight reel. He's grabbing things over the fence.
Yeah.
He's making diving plays.
kinda
We
funny.
saw a huge dip in power last season, but he's the type of player, similarly to you mentioned, that like when he's right, he's in the MVP conversation. He's in that top 5, specifically in the AL West. I think they're really going to lean on him. And they need to support that rotation. That rotation had the lowest ERA in baseball last year.
Yeah.
They had some of the best strikeout rates. So hopefully they're having a little bit more offensive power.
Well, they retain, they bring back Polanco.
Yep.
They need Randy Arozarena to be a guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Victor Robles, they signed him to a contract extension during the course of last season. He showed flashes
Yep.
of fulfilling his promise. But yeah, I mean, that pitching staff, it's like I said, it's a pitching staff that's worthy of a postseason team.
Yes.
The question is whether or not they can score enough runs. Okay, we have one last team.
Woo!
One last
Angels.
team. And that's it. It's the Los Angeles Angels, and let's take a look at the top. And as you might
96
expect,
for Trout.
it's Mike Trout. Can I tell
damn.
you, Kate, for
Yes.
3 years running, I have failed to
Kikuchi, a
pull
good
a Mike
contract.
Trout card.
Really?
I know. I've had to use my favorite card, the credit card, the last 3 years.
To
And,
acquire a Trout.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
The pack gods have not been kind on your boy. Zach Neto is is at 84. Yusei Kikuchi, who they signed in the offseason, is at 83. And then a couple of 80s in Taylor Ward and Jose
Pretty solid.
Soriano. So Mike Trout is at 96.
Yep.
When he's playing and when he's healthy, he's one of the greatest
He's
players of all
godlike.
time. But man, it has been rough for him from a health perspective the past couple of seasons.
From a health perspective, absolutely. But I mean, you talk about that decade where he was literally running baseball consistently and in the MVP conversation. It was actually pretty promising, though. He came out in spring training and said, you know, when I'm out there, when I'm back on the field,
Yeah.
I still believe that I'm the best player, which we're all praying for 120-game season of Mike Trout this year. Anything. I think they'll take anything after the injuries that he's suffered.
Yeah, he's going from
Facts.
center field, going to go to
Yep.
right field. He did mention he'll see a little bit of time in right field, but clearly the Angels are looking for any ways that they can to keep him on the field. Let's check in with Rory one more time. Mike Trout, some people in the chat surprised that he got that 96 rating. Where are you? How did you come up with that rating for Mike Trout?
Yeah, I want to say this might be the first year he's not a 99 overall, which it's tough to say about Mike Trout,
Wow.
you know, one of the best players of all time. When we look at him the last 3 years, still has 156 WRC plus. Obviously, there is the asterisk to it. It's like when he played, but when he still plays, he's still one of the best hitters that baseball has that we've ever seen, while also playing still solid defense in the outfield. He still runs well. All of those things just come together where it makes him a high overall player. And I don't know, I think we'd all agree that if Mike Trout's healthy, he is one of the best players still,
Facts.
and it makes the Angels a much better team.
Yeah, the Angels do have an interesting young core. Neto, Shenuel at first base. Would love to see some more power from him. But also behind the plate, Logan O'Hoppe. BAFL 99 says
underrated.
O'Hoppe is too low, a little bit disrespected. Where are you on Logan Hoppe's rating?
I'm actually right there on the Logan O'Hoppe hype train. I love him.
Yeah, me too.
He's just right off of this list. I think he might be 6th or 7th highest on the Angels. But yeah, he showed really great performance last year. Solid behind the backstop at catcher. Also incredible bat. I think, you know, it's just the beginning for him. I expect a lot of good stuff from him this season and each year moving forward, and going to be a big part of the Angels core that, you know, they're going to crush left-handed pitching this year. They got a bunch of righties, and that offense honestly looks really good on paper to me.
Yeah, and don't forget, I believe they have the BR god Jorge Soler on their
Facts.
squad. So definitely some right-handed thumb. Hey, Roy, this has been a lot of fun, man. Thanks for sticking with us throughout
that's
the
pretty much
course
it.
of the stream and answering questions from myself and Kate, and of course the questions from the chat. So we appreciate it, man.
Yeah, thank you both. I appreciate it. A lot of hard work went into getting this roster together. There's a lot of people, got to give shout outs to on the roster crew, artists, engineers, everybody. So much great work's gone into this game, and we're really proud to put it out. We're really excited for people to get their hands on it, play with the roster, and bring their favorite team to the World Series championship.
All right, Roy, we appreciate the time, man. Good luck with the launch, okay?
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
It's all the teams, Chet.
So, as part of MLB The Show 25, some history. For the first time in the history of the game, there are 3 cover athletes.
Yep.
Ellie De La Cruz, Gunnar Henderson, and Paul Skeens. So, let me ask you, Kate Maniscalco.
Yes.
Of these 3 players, who do you think is going to have the better season?
I have all of the confidence in the world that Paul Skeens is going to come out. His second season, he's going to win the Cy Young.
You know what? That's my pick.
That was your opinion as well?
That's my pick, too.
He added 2 more pitches to his mix. Now he's throwing 8 different pitches. That should be illegal.
That's crazy.
That should not be allowed in Major League Baseball, but he already looks fantastic, and we're going to see a full season out of him this year.
Yeah, a 99 sinker break for Paul Skeens. You know the velo is there. And that's not to say we both have, and everyone should have high expectations for both Ellie De La Cruz and Gunnar Henderson. Look, Gunnar Henderson was in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, Henderson was really good last year. Really good last year.
It would not surprise me.
Ellie, not as much, but
as far as Ellie De La Cruz, let's see him take those next couple of steps to hopefully superstardom.
Absolutely, completely agree.
All right, Kate, this has been a lot of fun. Thanks
so
for
much
sticking
fun.
around.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Kate Maniscalco, be sure to find her on Instagram at AskKate. That's Kate with an I. Reminder, early access March 14th, full release March 18th. I'm going to be streaming on launch night. You can find my streams, twitch.tv/RealRowFlow. For everyone at Sony.
Oh, wow, they just cut it. They just cut it like that. Why'd they do that? All right, well, there it is, Chad. That is the ratings reveal. Honestly, I feel like it was a lot shorter than last year, at least than I remember. I don't know. I felt like it was every year it's pretty long. But, yeah, there's the ratings reveal. Very interesting, very exciting with some of the guys that they did say. I feel like pretty much every team has a pretty solid, like, you know, at least one solid player, except for the White Sox and the Rockies, I'm pretty sure. But everyone else had, like, one pretty good player, I want to say. And the Nationals, I think, too. Are you a fan of franchise mode? Yeah, Anthony, I like franchise mode. I'm definitely going to be playing it on the channel this year. We obviously played with the Rockies last year. Couldn't get a World Series. You know, that was definitely kind of unfortunate. Made the postseason a couple of times, right? Yeah, very interesting on franchise. And I'm that franchise, but I'm definitely going to play it this year. I'll probably stream the early part of Road to the Show. We'll probably cover pretty much everything at this point. So definitely going to be excited. But with that being said, guys, that has been the ratings reveal for MLB The Show 25. If you guys did enjoy the stream, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to be talking about Diamond Dynasty, obviously, tomorrow, right? We're going to have Diamond Dynasty, the whole feature premiere tomorrow, which will be exciting. So we're going to dive back in. We'll be live the same time at, 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be live, and then we'll make a video on after that. But, yeah, definitely been a fun stream. Shout out to everyone that's been here the whole time. We've been live for at least 3 hours at this point. So it's been pretty long. So just want to give my shout out. Shout out to James in the chat who was here earlier. Shout out to Angel who's been here. We obviously had Flame back in the whole streams. Shout out to him. We have Jacob Brooks was here. And then we had Tuner was here. And then shout out Anthony who was also tuning in for the end of the stream. And shout out how many streamers play every game. I have no idea, honestly. I don't know. It's a good question, actually. But I don't know. I feel like I really don't know. I actually don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. I really don't. I mean, if you want to ask me, I don't really play a lot of video games. Like, the show is really the main one I play. But I play like a couple mobile games, but that's pretty much it, Anthony, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me over here on this side. We'll be back live tomorrow, 1 p.m. 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be live. Do it for the Diamond Dynasty feature premiere. Then we'll have a video after that, so that should be exciting. Good Thursday, but appreciate everyone that's sticking by me this whole time. Shout out to y'all in the chat. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.